What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? I got to get my Teach Hanley intro popping. I don't know why I keep forgetting that, but I definitely got to get my Teach Hanley intro popping. What's up, friends and family? How y'all feeling today? It is Monday, June 22nd in 2026, year of our Lord. It is definitely kind of cloudy. Look like it's going to rain today, but that's okay because rain cleanses the air and it provides for us hydration, and all things work together for the good of them that serve the Lord. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling today? What up? What up? I see Kel G, Long Way ENT, Coach Chris, Jesse Xavier, lots of people. Highly recommend the ASAP Rocky tour. Great visuals and show. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Never would have thought. I don't really know any ASAP Rocky songs like that. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's a dope show that I need to check out. If I did have capacity, I wouldn't mind checking it out. If somebody gave me some tickets or something like that. I don't know if I would pay for it myself, you know? What up, though? What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What up to all of my friends and family? I appreciate y'all for holding me down. Had to take Friday off, and the weekend was quite busy. Graduation parties, anniversaries, all of that stuff. So summertime is very, very busy, is very expensive. June and February is usually the most expensive months that I have on my docket. I have a let me get some housekeeping out of the way. So first of all, Anton got on the pink and black attack shirt on today. What does that mean? What do you mean? A pink shirt? Pink means it's attack time? when, when did that become a thing? I didn't know pink was attack time. I thought pink meant love and agreement and joy and all of those good things. I thought that's what pink meant. That's not what pink meant. What up to your car? What up to Dean Murray? What up to Jesse Xavier? What up to Josh? Sabrina, what up, Sabrina? I appreciate you. Thank you to Vito Royale, A Dunn, AJ Wise, Zeroyce. What up, y'all? What up, William, Justin? Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. A Dunn says I'm too old school for pink. It's for the ladies. Really? Really? He said it's salmon, not pink. I didn't know that there was a age limit on colors. I thought that all colors was all available for us to be able to do whatever it is that we wanted to do. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. I posted the meetup. All right. Meetup information is posted inside of the Patreon. And I need to get an idea. I need to get a head count on what I'm expecting, who is going to be coming, all of that stuff so that I can plan accordingly. I got to make sure that everybody has a good time. And anybody that has ever attended a meetup knows that Anton from AntonDaniels.com has a good time. But I also wanted to post the official date because I want y'all to be able to get whatever accommodations if you're coming from out of town. I want you to get block off your date, block off your weekend, know exactly what the official date was. Coach Chris says I'm going to be there 100% for sure. Cool. Cool. All right. Cool. I'm with it. I'm with it. All right, y'all. We got a lot to cover today. So throughout the show, I'll be making announcements, giving you updates, all of that. Speaking of which, before I get started with the show, what up, Deion Bowser? I got to do a pre-record today. So I got to do a pre-record. Me and Stephen A. Smith, we back at it again. So I'm supposed to do that this afternoon, which will not affect anything that we got going on over here. So we still going to have the regular show. We still going to do it as long as we going to do it. And we're going to get it popping. So I'm expecting for this to be a really good week. OG Rihanna, what up, baby girl? What up, Ree? What up? What up, K Cooper? What up, Azriel? What up, Steel City Muscle? Walk on Wood. If I didn't get to your email this past weekend for coaching calls, I did do some coaching calls this weekend. I will be scheduling them. I'm continuing to schedule them on the weekends. This weekend, I had a graduation party that I had to go to for my daughter. And the reason that I didn't do a show on Friday is because I had to do my anniversary. So it was actually, you know what's so funny? I got the years wrong. I said 23 years. It was actually 22 years. All right. So if I didn't get to you, I'm working through them, and I will definitely be reaching out to you or following up with you if you sent me an email at antondaniels413@gmail.com for coaching calls. But, you know, I get to them as I get to them in the order in which they was received. All right. Anything that I need to be checking for before we get started with the show? The quote of the day is to improve is to change. To be perfect is to change often. To improve is to change. To be perfect is to change often. From Winston Churchill. A lot of times the intended meaning for a lot of these quotes is not reflective of what I take it as. Like, let's just say, for example, they speak about war or they speak about finances. I think that all of these quotes, and the reason why I like them instead of just saying, hey, welcome to the Millionaire Morning Show, all of these quotes are applicable to every single part of your life. Even when I read the Bible a lot of times, right? The reason that I've read it back to back multiple different times is because I get something new out of the same scriptures every single time I read the word. Every single time that God talks to me, it's in a different space in my life. I even had an epiphany this morning. I woke up at 4:45 this morning and, you know, brushed my teeth, came straight into the studio. And while I was in the car, I had an epiphany then. Something completely different than what I thought what my life would be now. You know what I'm saying? And even to the point to where I had to apologize to myself for thinking that this was the end or thinking that I had reached the pinnacle in this thought process. To improve is to change, to be perfect is to change often, right? What does that mean to me, for me? How is that applicable for you? All right, so I'll give it to you like this. And somebody explained this to me maybe 20 years ago. What is perfection? What is perfection, right? What is perfection? And when I initially answered that question, my thought was, well, you're doing everything right without flaw, without problem, without issue. You've mastered whatever it is that you're doing. That is what perfection looks like. And then the person asked me another question. They asked me a follow-up question. They said, well, what about with regard to a career? And then it got me to thinking, because at first I'm like, well, that means that you mastered your craft, right? Let's say you're a software engineer and you're great at what you do and you're the best at what you do. But what if they drop an update? What if there's a new programming language? What if there's a new development? Are you still perfect or are you still learning? What if you're a great software engineer in corporate, but that position starts to get outdated, or you have a higher ceiling as far as continuing to grow in corporate America? Are you still perfect? What does perfection look like when it comes to mastering money and business and finance? Does it depend on what industry you're in? Does it depend on your socioeconomic status? Does it depend on where you start? Does it depend on, it's a number of factors. What does perfection look like when it comes to a relationship? I would imagine that perfection initially, especially if you're a believer, would be, hey, we getting into this relationship. We don't have any past trauma. probably both still virgins, right? But what if she cheats and you did everything right? What if y'all wind up getting a divorce through no fault of your own, but you weren't able to convince her to continue to lean into that perfection? Are you guys still perfect? Are you still perfect as a person that belongs inside of a relationship? Or is there some work? Because who you were when you were 20 is much different than who you are when you're 30. And so even when I read the word of God, it changes for me because who I am at that moment is completely different than who I am going to be when I'm 50 and 60 and 70. And who I was when I was 30 is completely different than who I am when I'm 40, right? I'm continuously mastering my craft. I will tell you this, even with the word of God, when it says, be ye therefore perfect, it's a continuous thing. It's continuous growth. You don't hit a ceiling and say, I've mastered everything and now all I got to do is sit down and be still and just chill for the rest of my life. That's not how it works. That is never how it works. When people ask me a lot of times and they say, Anton, well, how do I discover what my purpose is? And I tell them all the time, well, your purpose is to be determined depending on the work. Your purpose is not based off of what you do for a living. Your purpose is not based off of what you believe at the moment. Your purpose is not based off of what your pastor or your preacher or your prophet has told you that your life is supposed to be. Because guess what? It may be, but for that time. Your purpose could be different depending on what space you in and what city you in and how old you are and who you surround yourself by, right? What is a perfect 4-year-old? And if you're perfect as a 4-year-old, well, maybe they don't cry. Maybe they're a nice kid. Maybe they, say goo goo gaga. Maybe they learning faster. A perfect 4-year-old, the standards for a perfect 4-year-old is going to be much different than a perfect 10-year-old. The expectations of who you are as an 18-year-old is going to be much different than who you were when you was a 13-year-old. The requirements are different. The standards are different. What you're supposed to be working on is different. How many of you guys have seen people from your past that was so awesome, was so cute, was so dope? One of the things that I'm enjoying on Instagram right now is when people are posting, they're recording what the high school photo looked like inside of the yearbook, and then they pan over to the person. And usually it's all women. I haven't seen any men do it, but usually it's all women, right? And then when you when you go through the comments and you look at people talking about it, they're like, man, you ate a whole person. Man, you this. And then somebody else will defend them and say, but at least she got a ring. And then they say this, and then other people will defend it and say, well, that's just a part of the aging process and this and that and so on and so forth, right? Because our expectations in our mind, how many of y'all have seen a celebrity and they say, oh, you Asian like wine and black don't crack? And then you see this other celebrity and they say, oh, you Asian like milk. How many of y'all have seen somebody from your past or ran into somebody in your past or even went across and seen they Instagram or they Facebook or they just popped up in your algorithm and it's like, dang, homie, in high school you was the man, homie. How many of y'all are late bloomers? How many of y'all run into people that are insecure about where they are because they may have been the person, they may have been the man, they may have been the woman in high school, and they no longer the man, and you're 10 times further than them, and then they try to call you corny or lame because you didn't go through some of the things that they went through voluntarily, because you didn't go to jail, you didn't go to prison, you didn't get pregnant early, you didn't do any of the things that they did. And so they'll say, well, you lame because you didn't do all of this inside of high school, when in reality, you blessed because you were being saved and prepared for a greater purpose, and you were perfect at the time, but they tried to push you to grow up too fast. How many of y'all moved out of your mother's houses or your father's houses or your parents' house too early, trying to be too grown too fast? I sought out a quote like this because At my daughter's grad party, we were talking, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, she's grown up so beautiful and nice, and look how good she is. Y'all did such a good job. Y'all did such a good job." And somebody asked me, and they said, and it was another adult, and I was talking to him, and they said, "What do what do you think about this new generation of children that are much different than we are? Because we, in a lot of instances, were looking to move out as soon as possible, go and live on campus, trying to be fast pass, right? Everybody wanted to have some freedom, but in reality, all you did was get a bunch of credit card debt, a bunch of bodies, and uh, a useless degree that you're probably not even using today." And they were saying, these kids are different. I said, yeah. I said, I'm not pushing my daughter to get a job. I said, my goal for her, and the thing that I tell her on a regular basis, is to enjoy your life. You have the rest of your life to be an adult. Enjoy your youth. Enjoy your childhood. She still thinks and operates as a sweet person because she hasn't been destroyed. She hasn't been broken by society and politics and social media and all of these things. She said, "Dad, you think it's okay if I post something on social media? I am 18 now." I said, "Sure." She posted a Taekwondo video. It made me glad to my heart. You know what I'm saying? And I said, my goal for her is to be as close as to her father as possible. Everything that I said that I was going to do is exactly what I did. To improve is to change. To be perfect is to change often. You are not a finished product. Thank you, Sharp TV. A lot of y'all think that y'all know a lot. You think you know something. You dumb. And I'm not saying that to be insulting. I'm saying it because it's true. We are so ignorant and dumb, but we so matter of fact in what we think we know, and we ain't even been through nothing. It ain't nothing like seeing a young, stupid, knucklehead, idiotic woman or man that is telling you what it is that they think they know when you just sitting there and you ain't said a word, and you know that they're about to lead themselves toward destruction, or that they're about to create a headache for themselves. Thank you, Aaron. You know it. I told somebody this past weekend, I said, I'm going to have to let you suffer. Because all of the things that I've been telling you, you're not listening to me. You know too much. And even though I've saved you from yourself multiple different times, it's very difficult. It's hard trying to convince you to do this and that and for you to listen because you're so busy trying to tell me what you think I should know about you instead of paying attention to what you're supposed to be doing. You're going to have to go through it. You're going to have to suffer. I take my hands off of it and I give it to God. It's a headache. It's unfortunate. But sometimes you got to let them go through it. Sometimes you got to take your hands and you can't let them continue to crash out in a controlled environment. You got to let them go through it because it's a part of the perfecting process. To suffer is to be perfected. You got to come out as clear as gold. And in order for you to be as pure as gold, you have to burn off all of the impurities. You have to be as pure as gold. And in order for you to do that, you got to burn through the impurity. You got to get that dirt up off of you. But first, you got to suffer. You got to suffer. And there's so many of us that think that our time is already come. You ever hear people say, "Oh man, the rapture." You don't know what your time is. You don't know what you got to do. You don't know what your purpose is. I thought I was rich when I was making $120,000 a year, 18, 19, 20 years old. I thought that was it. Couldn't fathom the idea of making as much as we making today. And if I thought that was the end, once I went broke and I thought that was the pinnacle, I would have never came back and then got more than what I had before I lost it. More importantly, I wouldn't have continued to work on the character that allows for me to keep my sanity in my growth and becoming more successful financially. Because we stop working on ourselves when we think it's enough. We stop focusing on growth when we think that we've done enough. We stop focusing on our character when we think that we've hit the pinnacle and more money is to come, more opportunity is to come, more fame is to come, more responsibility is to come, more of everything is to come. And it can turn bad on you because you wasn't working on the thing that was necessary because you already thought that you knew everything. And so you stop praying, you stop focusing, you stop working on your character, you stop mastering your craft, you stop exploring the possibility of what if, and you gave up. And I see so many people broken, quitting, done, don't have no inspiration. It's absolutely out of their mind. They get content. They sit there and they become bumps on a log. They become the thing. I seen an uncle of mine. He looked tired. He looked old. He came to my daughter's graduation party. He looked tired and he looked old. And it wasn't because of anything that he couldn't control. Wouldn't brush his beard. Hair was beaded, and I'm sitting there, and me and Rita was talking, and I say, "Yeah, man, because well, I ain't gonna go into detail." I say, "Yeah, man, they growing up and all of this stuff," and he said, "Yeah." I said, I said some other stuff, and he said, "I earned these grades. I earned this hardened thing that I am." And I said to Rita, I don't want to be like that. It was almost like they were embracing being broken. And when I would say something like, "Yeah, A, B, and C, and this is what's to come," and he'd say, "If I'm still alive to make it, if I ever get there," and you can see that life has worn on him and he no longer embraces, but he's stuck in his place to where you can't convince him he's stuck in his ways already. A lot of y'all don't even believe that y'all can get into a relationship because you so broken. You so tired of being with people. You so tired of subjecting yourself to but a lot of it is just because you keep on, endearing yourself to the same thing over and over again. You're never going to get nothing different because you keep on rocking out with the same people and in the same environments. Change don't come automatically. It has to be something that is embraced. It has to be something that's implemented. It has to be something that you actively seek. Keisha, you said, why is he speaking like that? He sound defeated. In his mind, he didn't think that he sound defeated. In his mind, he sounded accomplished, like, I didn't pass the finish line. Because for him, there was no more to talk about. He didn't have anything else that he was looking forward to. And that's when you start dying, in my opinion. That's when you start dying. Real talk. This show, when we go through it today, I'm going to tell you some of the stuff that I got on the docket. There's some stuff I think I'm going to pivot to. We're going to get into the Karmelo Anthony footage. I don't know if we're going to talk about Face on Love. I may be out of that. Pizza Hut sold for $2.7 billion. I'm going to talk about that. The mass shooting in Chicago over the weekend. That should be interesting. It's a girl that I found, and she says she's 34, single, jobless, and always alone. We're going to get into that. Michelle Obama's speech, Barack Obama's speech. Apple is breaking the union. We might get into that. And it's a guy that recently got fired. And so I want to share that with you guys, and I want to get y'all opinion on that. But let me just say this. In addition to joining the Patreon, because I did post the information about the meetup, I need to get an idea of who's going to come, who's going to be there. And that way, when I get a head count, I can plan accordingly, or I can have my people plan accordingly. Never stop improving. Never stop changing. Don't let the world beat you down so much to where you become cynical. Don't let the world beat you down so much to where you become angry and upset at everybody and everything. And your every waking moment is dedicated to destruction and destroying other people and destroying yourself and being a bitter baby mama or a bitter old man. Don't let the world destroy you. Renew yourself. And the only way to renew yourself is to get back on that track and run your race. Get back on your track and run your race. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel with turning your notifications. Let me read some of these cash apps and super chats, and then we're going to go ahead and get it popping with the show. First and foremost, I want to say I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for rocking out with me. For those of you that may not have been here, posting information inside of the Patreon about the meetup. So I need you to comment on that if y'all plan on going. And then we're going to go from there on that. More information to come on that. I also want to give an acknowledgement to Spencer Campbell. Thank you, Spencer Campbell, for holding me down. Thank you, my friend. I want to give a shout out to my dog, Mike That Dude. Shout out to Mike That Dude. John Teal hit me with it and said, a little something for the collection plate. Shout out to you, John Teal. I want to give a shout out to Alfred Charlo. Says, appreciate your content. And I also want to make sure I give a shout out to Ian Harrell, everybody that I met out in the streets and everybody that continues to show me love on a regular basis. I know that y'all watch the show. I know y'all tap in. I know some of y'all just be watching the clips. I just want to say I appreciate y'all for holding me down. Let me read some of these cash apps and super chats. I want to say thank you to Coach Chris. Coach Chris is always contributing into the platform. He has a couple questions. Coach Chris says, how do you propose how we can legally govern how many children a family could have based on their income? We can't. We can't. The only way that we would be able to control that is if we lived in a communist China. We can't. Because what comes along with freedom, and this is one of the things that come along with no censorship, no freedom, the ability to do what you want to do, is we can't control what people do. We can't tell them what they can and can't say or can and can't do with their own selves or their own bodies or their own lives. Here's the other part of it, though. The only way that you can try to combat it a little bit is to minimize how much we support them. Because if you stop and say, hopefully we back. Are we back? Had a little bit of a kerfuffle. I'm sorry about that. Man, I might have messed up all of the super chats. Let me see if I can get back to the super chats real quick. Yakar, if you can do me a favor and send me a screenshot of the super chats, because I need to go back and look at those. I lost all of the super chats and I'm not sure how I lost them. Send me a screenshot of the super chat so I can acknowledge the people. But my Father's Day was cool. I try not to. If y'all need to, you might have to refresh. If the audio is messed up, you might have to refresh. All right. We good? Everybody good? Your car, send me the super chats if the super chats is messed up because I lost them for whatever reason. And so I got to figure that out. Whatever to everybody inside of the show, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. I just dropped a video inside of the Patreon. Or not a video, I just dropped a post inside of the Patreon about the upcoming meetup. So give me some insight about the upcoming meetup. And then I'm gonna read y'all super chats in a second. me see something. Let me see if I can switch back and if my connection is gonna be all right. But for y'all, actually, I may even do it as a live stream because somebody asked me to do money at every level and how to break through. It's so funny you say this because I was just talking about salary progression because somebody asked me about salary progression. People are still refreshing. Let me look at some of these. What age do you think children need to leave their home? I don't think that there's an age that children need to leave their home. I think that 30 is the time that people should start thinking about whether or not they are where they're supposed to be. I don't think that there's an age that anybody should leave the home. I think that we need to be focused on practicing group economics. Coach Chris says, at what age do you think children need to leave the home? I think we push children out too early. We push them out at 18, 20, 21, 22, 23 years old. I think that practicing group economics, even if you get married, I don't have any problem with y'all living with each other. Chris Cunningham says the European experience brought joy to my eye. Plus, they are funny watching them eating our food and shopping. Yeah, shout out to all of the people that's here and came to visit for the World Cup. You believe in fast tracking or earning a job? Neither one. I just believe in making a job is making as much money as you possibly can. That's all a job is. So make as much money as you possibly can. That's Coach Chris. Sharp TV says, big up to AD, stay sharp. Shout out to my dog, Sharp TV. Latrell says, the greatest enemy to our success is our excuses. I agree with that. Bad Habit says, real wisdom start the day. Real wisdom to start the day. Much appreciated, Anton. Shout out to you. Also want to give a shout out to everybody that's inside of the chat and everybody that's supporting the platform. All right. Hopefully I got all of the super chats. Let me read a couple more. Shout out to Trey. I got you. I'm gonna do a Patreon video of that. Dean Murray says, since the bag chaser hats are on display, can we get a James P. Fields box chaser hats in the meantime? Much love to AD. Shout out to my dog, Dean Murray. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get started with the show. Again, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Let me just look at this really quickly. I think the measure of true adulthood should begin at 21. Nope. I think the measure of true adulthood should begin at 30. Vash says, I think guys who stay at home at 18 are mama's boys and are weak. Well, it's a good thing it doesn't matter what you think, because usually people that stay at home longer, they are usually people that generate more revenue long term and they practice group economics. We got this messed up mindset where we think that we should operate based off of what society tells us to do. My dog, shout out to Fi Brown. Hold on, Fi, you can't send me no money for your birthday. I need to send you money for your birthday. He says, yo, AD, it's my birthday. Thankfully, I'm blessed to see another year around the sun. I just wanted to thank you for all of the life lessons and tough, unfiltered love you've given me over the years. You've seriously been a godsend. Much love and appreciation always, big bro. Oh, shout out to my dog. Hey, man, can we get everybody to say happy birthday to my dog, Fi Brown, in the chat? Can we get everybody to say happy birthday to my dog, Fi Brown, in the chat, bro? Shout out to Fi. We love you, bro. We love you. We love you. We love you. Shout out to my dog, Fi Brown, man. Happy birthday. I got to call you. I got to talk to you, Fi. Let me also say, what up? The Long Way ENT says, high earners are the only ones who truly enjoy life. I don't know about that. I don't know about that Long Way ENT, but I do know one thing. It's a lot of people out here still getting fired. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
What's good? I'm in Hawaii celebrating my birthday, but before I let the festivities begin, because my birthday is not until tomorrow, I want to get something off my chest. I was going to wait until July 22nd to talk about this. That'll make sense later in the video, but I figured I might as well get it off my heart and mind right now, just so I can be done with it. So in the aftermath of the Rick Chow trial, I made 3 TikToks. One where I said Rick Chow and his son should go to prison. A second one where I supported the ban of anti-black Asian businesses and black communities. And then the third TikTok where I said one effective way to shut these businesses down is to call and place orders and never go pick them up.
So let me ask y'all a question. Why would a person say that? Why would a person say, because I'm cool with y'all boycott. Remember that. If you decide, hey, listen, Anton, I don't want to spend my money with any more Asian businesses because of the Rick Chow situation, that is your right to do so. I would never tell you what you can and can't do with your own money. That is your choice, and you have the ability to do that, and you should be able to do that. If you say, Anton, I only want to shop black from now on, I would say, well, I don't really know how that happens, because if you want to shop black, then that means that you probably got to shop at the source. You got to get all of your raw materials black. You can't get anything imported from China and Canada and any of these other places, right? And so if you truly want to shop black, then you have to remove yourself from a lot of what we've already depended on in society. You can't go to the grocery store and buy meat. You may be able to go to a black-owned grocery store, but it doesn't mean that they don't have partners. It doesn't mean that all of their suppliers are not non-black, all of that stuff. And so, but hey, listen, whatever you want to do with your own money, that is up to you. I choose not to. I respect your decision as an American to pretend like you are shopping black. All right? But when you then say, hey, listen, I'm calling for people to call and place orders at Asian-owned businesses and not pick up the orders, I would say that that's where you've crossed the line. And even me, right? As much as I may not necessarily like a person, or as much as I may say, you know what, I'm not really feeling what this person does, or this person is an enemy, what do I always say? I say I never, ever, ever would cause for you or would want you to not to be able to feed your family. I would never, ever not want for you to be able to make your money. I don't believe that you should not be able to earn and provide for yourself just because I disagree with you or society disagrees with you. I respect your right to be able to pursue love, liberty, and happiness as long as you're not doing anything illegal. I respect you. I respect your grind. I respect your hustle. I respect you. And that goes for everybody. Anybody that I've ever gotten into it with, I respect your ability or your hustle or your right to be able to pursue getting the bag. It's some bitter people out here. It's some super bitter people out here. And they will say, well, no, man, you should lose your job. I want to dox you. Never dox nobody in my entire life. Would never try to stop your bag. I would never wish jail or prison on you. Just because I disagree with you, even if I don't like you, that don't mean that I want you to suffer in that way. Never. So as a man that is a therapist that is using platforms or other institutions and businesses to drum up business or run up a bag or continue to support themselves, why would you, even if you disagreed, and I think that it's the dumbest thing ever to say I'm going to boycott all of these people because of one person that I may not have agreed with, why would you call for somebody to call and place orders at businesses that you don't even know and not pick them up so that you can try to ruin their finances? I'm going to play it again for you. I just want to make sure that y'all understand what's going on here.
Effective way to
He
shut
was
these
fired. He was fired from a platform, and he's explaining why, which is largely based off of what we experience on social media, right? Meaning that he decided to get on social media and give his opinion about what's going on in popular culture. Nobody asked him to. He did it on his own. And now he's pissed off because they fired him for spewing rhetoric that was not conducive to all people and basically leaning into racism and the destruction of a whole community of people that don't have nothing to do with the situation.
And place orders.
Listen to what he's saying.
So in the aftermath of the Rick Chow trial, I made 3 TikToks. One where I said Rick Chow and his son should go to prison. A second one where I supported the ban of anti-Black Asian businesses in Black communities. And then the third TikTok where I said one effective way to shut these businesses down is to call and place orders and never go pick them up. In the aftermath of those 3 videos, I think I already told y'all twice that 2 of my former employers were contacted. Now, Headway, a current employer, was contacted. Headway is a platform for providers. I'm on there providing therapy. I don't talk about me ever being a therapist just because therapists are not allowed to have lives, be full human beings, have personalities, be crazy, whatever. Like, people think that we're saints and we're not. But I've been doing therapy for 5 years and I've been on the Headway platform since September, late September, early October, till present. And therapy has never been my bread and butter. It's always been a part-time for me, but I do love it. I love serving my clients. My clients are of diverse backgrounds. A lot of my clients don't even look like me, and that is fine because they trust me with their trauma, and we walk that walk hand in hand, and we get shit done.
So let me ask y'all a question. How is it, I got 2 questions right here, all right, because I want to mine this out with y'all. How is it that a person can say that they're a therapist and they only want to support Black businesses, they only want to shop Black businesses, they only want to focus on Black business, but then you are a therapist to people that are not Black? Just asking a question. Just want to make sure that we all on the same page. Why are you servicing and petitioning for dollars from people that don't look like you, but then you're calling for the destruction of the businesses for the people that don't look like you? That's number 1. Number 2, I thought a therapist had to be sound in their judgment. I thought therapists were people that were working and helping other people through their problems.
So my practice is a safe space for everybody. But nonetheless, those 3 videos that I made, someone took them and I guess sent them to Headway, and this is what Headway said. So this was the first email, and I don't have to read this word for word, but what stood out to me was that the content was flagged for language that could be considered dehumanizing, making generalizations and or stereotypes towards racially marginalized groups. And I thought that was so funny because I actually opened up one of my videos saying that Asia is a diverse continent. And so you can't make generalizations, right?
You can only just call for the destruction of their businesses. Hey, wait a minute. You can't generalize. You can only generalize when it comes to the boycott and the destruction of the business. So this is why I don't care about what people say. What people say and what they do is 2 different things. Anybody can say anything, and we've seen that. Anybody at any point can say anything, and it doesn't matter if you actually say something. Your actions is more reflective of what you believe. And so I don't go based off of what people say. I go based off of what people do.
So I found that funny that my video where I'm supporting Black people boycotting anti-Black businesses in their communities got flipped as me being racist towards Asian people, when that's never been the case. That's never been me. And that's not even anything I have to defend because that's just, it's nonsense. Oh, I also wanted to backtrack and say that I made another video where I said POC solidarity is a myth. So I don't want to leave that out either. But that's also the truth. All right, so this was my response to that initial email. This is their response to what I said, where they're basically confirming that yes, this was about my TikTok content. And when they said that I was making content encouraging coordinated harm towards Asian owned businesses, I'm pretty sure they're referencing where I said that you should call, place orders, and not pick your food up. That's what they're referencing. But
So you know where you messed up.
to me, I don't. That's not really coordinated harm toward Asian-owned businesses, and it also totally overlooks and purposely ignores the context and the reason for the boycott anyway.
Honestly, again, I'm going to say this again for the people in the back. This is the reason why I don't take people serious. This is the reason why I don't take the community serious. People hear, say, and do what they want to hear, say, and do when they want to do it. There is nothing that you can say or do that is going to convince them to think differently. The only thing that you can do is be a reflection of the change that you want to see. I released a video on Instagram of the conversation that I was having about Dave Chappelle, right? And in the video, I specifically said, this is no knock on Dave Chappelle. I'm not diminishing that he's a great comedian, but Donnell Rawlings was better than him at the show that I was at in Detroit, and I don't think that Donnell Rawlings get his just due. Do you know that I went through the comments this morning and people are saying that why are you trying to tear down Dave Chappelle in order to? I'm like, are y'all hearing the same thing that I hear when I have these conversations? And I say that this is no knock on Dave. This is not to diminish how good he is. Doesn't necessarily mean that I care for him as a comedian, but it doesn't take away from his greatness as a comedian. And people automatically translated that to mean that you hate Dave Chappelle. Listen. Rawlings right now seems to be more polished, more disrespectful, more entertaining, and better as far as going to see him at a show than Dave Chappelle. And that is not a knock on Dave Chappelle, because I'm not saying that Dave Chappelle is not entertaining. I'm not saying that Dave Chappelle is not funny. I'm saying that Donnell Rawlings. So when you hear that, literally, and I just played it right from his beginning, for me, maybe people only look at the caption, maybe people only look at the cover, maybe people don't actually listen to what's being communicated. To me, that is not divisive. That's just giving somebody some insight on what I thought about the show. So, what I've stopped doing is paying attention to what people think and start paying more attention to what I know is the right thing and to compare and contrast, because the only logical conclusion that I can come to from a lot of these different conversations is that most people are stupid. I am never, ever going to let this community bully me into groupthink because I don't believe or think the way that they think. Ain't no way. I see people that come into this chat all the time that come in and say some of the wildest things, and ain't no way that you're going to get me to believe that they logical, that they think with the right mind, that they not reprobate in their thinking, and that they even look at things objectively, because what I hear and see from people on a regular basis has nothing to do with growth, has nothing to do with success. Yo, on the live stream, what's going on? Bring what car? No, no, no. I'm straight. I'm gonna just hold on to the navigator until I go and pick up the lamb. No, just drive the Cayenne. You on your way headed to where? Oh, okay. All right. Bye. Let's continue.
Black people didn't wake up and just start being anti-Asian. Black people still are not anti-Asian. Let's make that very clear. Black people, we don't get taught to hate anybody. We're not even allowed to say that we hate stuff in our households. Anybody that's a black American that grew up in a black household would tell you so. But that's what that's about. This is me responding, basically saying, hey, I didn't make any generalizations about the Asian community, nor did I use slurs or encourage harm. So Headway took a few days to do, I guess, what would be considered an investigation, and determined that on July 22nd, I won't have the option of being able to continue on their platform, and that I also won't be eligible to return to Headway in 3 years. And so when I got on here and I said, yo, somebody or somebodies are working to silence black people, black creators who are supporting the band, I meant that. And this person, whoever did it, or these people, whoever did it, they got what they wanted. It worked. So I'll get them to that. I'll get them that. It worked. So I submitted an appeal. Then Headway wrote back this morning, literally while I was in the airport, doubling down like, no, effective June 22nd, you're done. This decision is final. And honestly, I'm at peace with it. As the investigation ensued, and then when I submitted the appeal, I found myself less and less even wanting to be on the platform. Here's the thing. I'm never going to stop advocating for black people, black lives, and I don't care even if that offends some black people. That's why I got into the field as a social worker. I was a young, little disenfranchised black boy. All of my friends were young, disenfranchised black youth. And
What does that mean to be disenfranchised, y'all? And I'm genuinely asking a question. Does that mean that you're poor? Does that mean that you have less opportunity? What does that mean? And the reason that I say that is because, is that your parents' fault for bringing you into this world to be disenfranchised? Or is that society's fault? Is that the culture's fault?
I felt like if I could be a change agent, I would do that. And if I can use my voice to empower others, I'm going to do that. And if Headway is not in alignment with supporting black people, they can have that. I can either go and start my own private practice, or what I was considering, I'll just take a break from therapy and focus on my, other side ventures or anything like that. The field of social work is a really broad field. Again, I really don't like to talk about what I do just because people do not allow social workers, especially therapists, to be human. But there's endless opportunities in the field. So whoever did this, you got what you wanted. Kudos to you. But you didn't stop the program. The show must go on, and it surely will. But I just wanted to come on here and let everybody notice that, like, hey, if you are a licensed professional, particularly a therapist, you probably may want to, I don't want to say tiptoe, but just speak about things cautiously, because there are people out here who will misconstrue your words and weaponize your words against you.
So I don't think that us here on the Millionaire Morning Show misconstrued his words. All we did was repeat what he said back to them. And we realized, you know what, this guy is an idiot. So, few different takeaways from this and our icebreaker to this show today. The first takeaway that I want to have is, why do y'all feel as though it's necessary for y'all to jump on social media and to give your opinion about everything that may not necessarily even be pertaining to you? What makes you think that your voice is necessary in being a change agent? What makes you think that we care enough about your voice to where you should be willing to put your income on the line to say something to a bunch of people that tomorrow will care nothing about you, but you felt it was necessary in order for you to get your stuff off so you can feel good about yourself and you can get a bunch of likes temporarily. Let me say this, and I say this to the bag chasers. I say this to everybody that's a part of the Patreon. I say this to people that's on the Millionaire Morning Show. Do not, under any circumstance, fumble your bag or put yourself at a disposition thinking that your voice is necessary and you need to lose your job or lose your income in order to do so. Never, never. The first rule in life is self-preservation. That's number one. Number two, I almost think that in order for you to have some of these professional positions to where you're helping other people, that you should also have some kind of ethics, morals, something. And number three, if you get fired, because what I start to see, what I was reading inside of his comments, is now everybody want to try to protest the company that fired him because he wanted to represent the company in a negative way and put them in a bad space. Because when I was in corporate America, I understood, right? I understood that anything I said or anything that was said on social media, it could paint my company in a bad light, in a negative light. And so I was very careful to not even broach subjects. I largely spent the majority of the earliest days of my social media journey focusing on myself, documenting the journey, not even having an opinion about what happens in popular culture because I was unwilling to fumble the bag to do so. And it wasn't until I was willing to walk away from corporate America that I started to have more of an opinion and express myself on what was happening in the culture. Stop fumbling the bag for social media. Stop fumbling the bag for social media. And then trying to blame the companies for firing you for you fumbling the bag on social media. Yeah, so now in the chats, oh man, so we should boycott Headway for firing him. No, he got himself fired. Most of these companies nowadays, they're not even looking to be controversial. They're looking to chill. They don't even want all of that drama. They don't want all of that extraness. They're trying to slow motion. Dumb. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. D Major Scaling Up Score says, I agree with you in principle. I think that 18 to 19 years being considered adults is absolutely foolish. That said, legally speaking, 30 seems too old. Why is it too old? D Major Scaling. What if I told you that a house is only supposed to be for shelter and it's not supposed to show independence, and everything that you believe in age is based off of something that was put into you and it's not based off of what's best for you? What if you could save for 10 years, buy a home cash, and be completely debt-free, go to school, not have to worry about certain things, still have community, and then you decided that you wanted to branch out on your own? What if you was able to stack, pay off your property, go to school, also start a business, rise, fail, and all of this stuff without all of the extraness that go along with it? Why is there an age limit on when people are supposed to leave the house? That's all given to you. That's all taught to you. That's all taught to you. Why would you want to? I was talking to my nephew. It's so funny that we have this conversation right now because I was literally talking to my nephew because he was saying, man, Anton, he's 25. And he was saying, he got a great situation. He was like, man, I'm thinking about moving and all of this because we was at my daughter's graduation party. And he was like, I'm thinking about moving and all of this other stuff or whatever. And I said, and me and his mother was sitting there. And I said, and your mom ain't making you pay rent? No. What you in a rush to go and pay $1,500 to $2,000 a month for?
Your call has been forwarded.
Must be at work. They probably call me back. I said, what are you in a rush to go and pay $1,500 to do? So you in a rush to go and give your money to somebody else? What are y'all in a rush for? He not married. He don't have no kids out of wedlock. He ain't worried about nothing. He got a good job. He's stacking. He's making a lot of money. And I said, and he got all of the freedom in the world. What are you in a rush for? Real talk. It's grown folks today that is trying to move back home right now. You know what happened to me when I went broke when I was 26 years old? I moved back home. And that's when I really was able to start getting rich. Man, listen, I took off. It wasn't until I moved back in my mom's basement that I really locked in. I was like, all right, cool. I'm safe. We cool. I ain't got to worry about being on the streets. I ain't got no money, but I can get this. I can figure this out. It was up. It was up. Bro, do you know the type of unlocking you do when you don't have any responsibilities as far as rent and all of that stuff? Bro. Sometimes people got to suffer. Good super chat though. I like that. Good conversation to have. Maybe I need to add that to after hours. I'm gonna put that. Let me add that to the list. Let me see. What age is? I'm gonna add that to after hours. All right. Manny says, isn't a therapist supposed to help you regulate your emotions? Right. Shin-C says, sugar in his tank, clouding his judgment. See, I'm trying to stay away from that. Mr. Joe says, I'm not surprised by the therapist sentiment. A lot of people in humanities jobs share his sentiment. Last week, I got into it with a public school teacher that was defending Karmelo Anthony. We about to get into that right now. Manny Plays PC says, that's a lie. Black people can be the most loving and embracing, but y'all can also be the most hateful. All right, I'm with you. Somebody says you find out what you made of when your back's against the wall. Well, what if you made of sandpaper and you fail and you become a drug addict and a dope fiend because you don't have a support system and you wasn't ready to be out there on your own anyway? All right, let's get into Karmelo Anthony. Melo. You know, I know the real Karmelo Anthony. Anton, what the toxic lessons you promised us on Friday going to be on After Hours too? Yeah, that's where I'm doing it on After Hours. Probably starting this Friday. Should they still be expected to still work? Yeah, you got to be productive. You can't just be in there scratching your balls, playing video games all day with no job and smoking trees. Selling drugs? Absolutely. Listen, you got to be productive and helpful and a blessing to society, no matter if you out on your own or if you staying home with your parents. I know Karmelo Anthony, the real Karmelo Anthony, I know he like, man, I ain't asked for all of this. That's what I want somebody to ask Karmelo Anthony. I want somebody to ask him, hey, man, how do you feel about your name being similar to the person that's going through all of the stuff that they're going through? But the footage was released. Triple says, yo, AD, okay, I owe you an apology. I was in my emotions and you was right about the case. The one thing that I said all the time, and I've been pretty neutral this entire time, my biggest stance has always been, and this is with regard to Diddy, this is with regard to Jay-Z, this is with regard to Rick Child, this is with regard to Karmelo Anthony. I said, and I'm going to read that super chat in a minute, Marty McFly. I said, we need to wait until the evidence is released so that we can actually see for ourselves. Let's wait till they go to trial. Then even when he went to trial and a jury of his peers convicted him, they said, oh, no, that wasn't right. And everybody was talking like they already had footage that we didn't have. And so I was wondering, and I'm like, do y'all know something, or do y'all have some footage that I'm not aware of? Because people were saying that he was getting jumped and that he ran into the coach's arms and that he was just sitting there and they were stomping him and he just so happened to get his hands on the knife and then, he, that he was having trouble getting away. Everybody was telling me, and everybody created this narrative. I did a reaction video to a woman that said that we need to segregate ourselves because of the Karmelo Anthony case. And nobody was interested in the court transcripts. Nobody was interested in finding the footage. Nobody was in it. And guess what nobody is going to do? Nobody is going to apologize.
We do have breaking details coming into the newsroom in the trial of Karmelo Anthony. Putting this on your screen, Brooke Taylor, Fox News correspondent, saying the judge in the Karmelo Anthony trial just released evidence, including body camera footage showing the moments an officer took him into custody after the stabbing. Anthony is heard saying, quote, he put his hands on me. I told him not to. He put his hands on me. We do have more details in this, including pictures of the murder weapon, the aftermath, and Anthony's backpack. We are going to put those up on your screen here. Take a look. This is courtesy Collin County.
Now remember, it is illegal to bring a knife or a gun or any weapon of any kind. It doesn't matter if you're an adult. It doesn't matter if you're a child. In the state of Texas, it is illegal for you to bring any weapon of any kind on campus or school premises. I want y'all to know that. This is the knife, the official knife that he used to stab him and eventually pierce him so bad to where he died on the spot. Doesn't matter if it's 3.5 inches. Doesn't matter if it's less than 5.5 inches. This is the actual knife, and it is illegal for this to be on school premises. So for the people that's sitting there saying, oh man, everybody just walking around with these type of knives. Well, cool. Maybe it's a Texas thing, but it's illegal.
District Court showing photos with evidence markers, the murder weapon, that blade. There is the scene of where the stabbing took place and his backpack, Karmelo Anthony's backpack right there. Now, the District Court also released surveillance video. You'll see.
So he is the person. Hold on, let me make sure I'm getting this right. Let me move myself over a little bit. So, right next to me, in the upper left-hand corner of the video, where you see this little oval, that is him. All right? This is official footage released from the judge because the judge wanted to make sure that the people had the evidence and that they wasn't leaning to their own understanding. He is in the upper left-hand corner. All right?
On your screen here, that lit up.
So the first thing that I'm wondering is, where are all of these people that are jumping in? And the full footage, you can go to X. You know what I'm saying? You can go. But I put this together. I wanted to make sure that I got the best footage so that we can have this conversation. He's running. He's not walking. He's running. He didn't run into anybody's arms. There's no stomping out. There's no anything like that. We're going to get to the body cam footage in a second. He's hauling butt. I don't want to say hauling A because this is a family show now. He's hauling butt after stabbing. After stabbing that boy, he's hauling butt down the steps.
Orb in the top left-hand side of your screen, that is Karmelo Anthony exiting the tent and walking along the sideline of that track field in Frisco, Texas. You can see that video here released just now by the Collin County District Court as he continues to walk along the perimeter of that track field.
Now, if you notice, there are people that are actually running to the situation, right? You can see the person that's in between, they're around the 12-yard line.
Frisco, Texas.
They start running to the situation.
See that video here released
multiple
just
people
now
running
by the
to
Collin
the situation.
County District Court as he continues.
And he's running away from the situation.
Is to walk along the perimeter of that track field. Again, you can see the graphic on your screen of the orb that is
trying to blend in.
Highlighted Karmelo Anthony on that day in 2025. Now, just to remind you here, Karmelo Anthony was found guilty of murder for fatally stabbing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at this 2025 track meet. He received a 35-year prison sentence. And just a reminder here, he faced anywhere from 5 to 99 years. Now, prosecutors labeled the fatal stadium stabbing a provoked, unjustified sneak attack inside that team tent that you saw moments ago. Again, this video here released to the public today by the judge in the district court. Now, we do have full body camera video. We're going to play that out here for in full for you. Viewer discretion is advised.
If somebody is treating the victim, they need to be over there. Don't reach for anything, all right, man? Stop right there for me. Dispatch 443, I got the suspects, and they're currently treating the victim. Again, he's on the north end of the stadium. All right, any weapons on you like that? Go ahead. I'll look here.
How long? He put his hands over. I know I'm not.
4-4, copy, I'll be in route. Help me, y'all back up a little bit. Come over here for me. Over here. I'm gonna put your handcuffs for now, okay, bud? Dispatch 443, everybody can slow down. I got the alleged suspect in handcuffs right now, detained.
Everyone else can slow down. Suspects detained in handcuffs.
Hold on. You can open up the channel, and medics are clear to come in. Have them come to the northeast entrance. That's gonna be a gate that's wide open there, and then you come to the victim from there. Alright, this is the alleged suspect. All right, bud. Okay. We'll figure that in. So nothing on your person at all?
No, sir.
Nothing?
No, sir.
Mind if I reach in your pockets and stuff and all that? Nothing gonna stab me now?
No, sir.
Okay.
I have
I'm going to be out with this.
I'm gonna get a little personal there, okay? Just to make sure.
My car's right there.
Okay. Yeah.
You want me to get up now?
Go. All right. The victim's gonna be underneath that tent over there, so I'll get medics.
Analyzing.
Memorial tent over there, guys. All right.
He put his hands on me. I told him not to. He put his hands on me.
So if he's saying that he put his hands on me, I told him not to, which means that he anticipated this happening. He was waiting for it to happen. He brought a knife there for that purpose, right? First of all, let's just throw away the whole notion of being jumped. Let's throw away the whole narrative that comes along with, oh, he was rushed. Oh, he was basically did this, he did that. He basically admitted to the police officer that he killed the dude with the fake tears, because all of the fake tears is going to go away. I've already watched the video. This is not reacting to in real time. This is me reviewing it in real time for this show.
Victim is over here on the north end. They got staff standing to him right now. This is the alleged suspect. Already? No. We searched them. We got nothing on him.
I don't know what happened.
423. Checkers everything with that CPR progress for a little bit.
Racing.
Yeah, that's the wrong thing.
Racing.
On my side over here or your side? Up to you. It's up to you.
That's fine. This is closer.
Okay. Let me do one more little check of you, okay?
Yes, sir.
You don't mind for reaching your pockets, anything like that? You good?
So much for all of the tears.
I'm wearing some little underwear.
Oh, yeah.
No, ma'am, I don't think so.
All right. What's your name, man?
Karmelo Anthony, Karmelo.
430 show now.
Okay.
Racing.
Have a seat here real quick, man. Watch your head. Let me check your hood here, buddy, okay?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what, lean this way so you're not resting on your hands, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, see a little bit of blood on your hands there, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
402, I'm on scene.
So your first name is Karmelo?
Yes, sir. Karmelo.
Let's see, hold on one second.
Is he gonna be okay?
I don't know yet, man. Karmelo,
K-A-R.
K-A-R
M-E-L-O.
M-E-L-O, Karmelo. What's your last name?
Anthony.
A-N-T-H.
O-N-Y.
O-N-Y. What grade are you in?
I'm in 12th grade.
10th grade? You go to Emerson?
No, sir.
Where do you go? Centennial. Okay.
I'm in 12th grade.
12th grade?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No, Centennial.
Not in 12th
All right,
grade
sit tight
no
for me real
more.
quick, bud, all right? Let me run this guy real quick.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to him at all.
Those moments there, Anthony being taken into custody. Brooke Taylor posting this on X. Judge John Roach tells me he released the evidence because, quote, I understand the public's desire to know what happened in the courtroom. The overwhelming focus on my ruling regarding the media in the courtroom was to protect the process, witnesses and jury. Now that the trial is over, it is important to me to provide transparency. Again, no cameras in the courtroom for this trial. That was just about 1 week ago. Here.
And this is, it's so mad, it's saddening, it's unfortunate that this kid right here, and again, you just got to kind of blame the parents. You got to kind of blame the parents. You blame him because he's old enough to know better, and you blame the parents. And then you also have to blame the culture and the community for trying to validate this bad behavior. Because the one thing that I was looking at, and I actually had the opportunity to even go on Google search or Google Maps and research the area. I think that black people in a culture that actually feel similarly to the way that people that support this nonsense, even after seeing the footage, I think it's okay for them to segregate themselves. I do. It is okay for them to segregate themselves. I'm cool with the idea that people that can't see the difference between right and wrong and the only thing they see is black and white should separate themselves. The same way that I thought that it was okay for the white people that wanted to move to the Ozarks in Arkansas and they separated themselves, I think that it's okay for black people to separate themselves. I'm okay with that. I don't want to limit anybody's rights to do what they want to do. I don't want to align myself with these type of people. I do not want to be in the same room as these people. I personally am cool with removing white people that are extreme, black people that are extreme, liberals that are extreme, conservatives, rhinos that are extreme. I am cool with all of them separating themselves and leaving all of us that want to focus more on the content of your character to each other. a lot of people keep saying stuff like boycott. They're using words like boycott, segregation. We should have stayed segregated, right? We should have stayed segregated. I disagree, because to be forced to segregate is much different than being self-segregated. And if you decide that you want to go and do your own thing, you're more than welcome to do so. But what's so interesting about that is that I never see y'all moving to Memphis. Every single time I talk about going to visit Memphis and showing love to Memphis, y'all never want to move to Memphis. Y'all don't go and try to move to the south side of Chicago. Funny. I stayed in the largest black city in the United States of America. Born and raised, never moved, stayed here, and continued to build wealth and pour money into the community, as well as give scholarships and support the people in the streets. Every person that I see, especially that has some visibility, they all live amongst people that don't look like them. I find that so hilarious. I was looking at one guy and he was talking about how he can't believe it and black people need to self-segregate and all of that. And so somebody had sent me his video in order to review it. And I was like, he's not saying anything any different than anybody else. And then I went to his profile, right? And when I went to his profile, he had mixed kids. So I deep dove a little bit further. And he wasn't married, but he was in a relationship with a white woman. Now, I'm not against being in a relationship with a white woman at all, but that more or less aligns with my views. And what I'm trying to understand is, why would you be in a relationship with a white woman, but then at the same time trying to self-segregate? Why are your kids looking like Drake, but then you're sitting there talking about what you should do? Let me preface this by saying that I'm going to read this out loud. And so all of the daycares and the people that are listening to this, I want y'all to know. Bacon, not baking, because I want to highlight this. Bacon, B-A-K-I-N, he missed the G in his name. Bacon Soda Q31. And what he's trying to convince us in his profile name is that he's a drug dealer, right? Bacon soda. He's trying to convince us that he cook up crack. He serves it to his community. He serves it to people that look like him, because we know you're not going to serve it to the white people. So bacon soda, B-A-K-I-N, soda. And he wanted us to be able to separate the two, because that's why he capitalize the B, capitalize the S, and he capitalized the Q. Bacon Soda 31 says, I'm not a real D nigga. I promise you, I'm not looking to hang out with you. And I promise you, I'm not trying to be your nigga. I 100% support the idea that I'm not a real D nigga. Y'all have to stop trying to acquiesce and appease the lowest hanging fruit, non-graduates of high school, no future having, only Amazon working until they lay him off, people in the culture, in the community. They have no bearing whatsoever. No bearing whatsoever on what we got going on. He would never even be able to get into the same places that I'm in. Never even be able to get into the same doors. Yo, we are better. And when I say we, I'm talking about the bag chasers. I'm talking about people that are of the Millionaire Morning Show community. You're better than people that live in the worst environments, that destroy their own neighborhoods and park on their own lawns. We're better than trying to prove to them that we're really from here. You know what, you're right. I'm not a real D nigga. I'm just Anton Daniels. I'm a black man married to a black woman that supports people that support him, and I love everybody. You're right. I love God. I don't love you. When y'all see these people with the black lips, the droopy eyes, no education, lack of opportunity, worse for the community, and you'd bet your bottom dollar that they a baby daddy of multiple different children, I want y'all to remember and look at the people that is criticizing you and realize every time you see them and see their life, you made a good decision by doing what you think is the opposite of them. We don't want to hang with you. We don't want to be with you. The people that I meet with inside of the city, they don't meet with you. I don't sit where you sit. I don't hang where you hang. I'm not the product of a single parent household. I'm not broken as a man. I'm not broke. I'm not dusty. You're absolutely right. I don't want to associate myself with you. 100%. Don't even want to be close to anything that you touching at the same time. If you touched it, I don't want to touch it. Where's my wet wipes? Where's the wet wipes? Somebody said I'm not far. Hopefully you are. I think you misunderstanding and you trying to make it seem as though I want to meet with you or we can have something together or we can squabble up. I don't want to be around you. I promise you. You're here. You clicked on the Millionaire Morning Show in order to get my attention. I didn't click on Baking Soda. I didn't click on Baking Soda Q31's profile. Listen, I don't want to be around you. You may be misunderstanding because you're saying you're not far. I want you to be far. I don't want to link up. I don't want to connect. I don't want to be cool. I don't want to rock out. I'm not interested in any way, shape, or form touching, interacting with, or being around your type. That's the whole idea. Let's stay as far apart as possible. If you decided that you never wanted to watch the show again, I'm cool with that. I don't want your type at the meetup. I'm not interested in you traveling to come and hang out with us. You're not invited to DC. None of that. And I'm sure you're happy to not be invited because the areas and the environments that you're used to frequenting, I'm pretty sure it gets shot up on a regular basis. I'm cool with you're not being in my vicinity. Courtside, nosebleeds. Graduate, loser. That's what I was trying to say, D-Mac. What does I'm not far mean? What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. And let me just say this to y'all also. All right, as we get ready to go to the next story, we're gonna head over to Juneteenth and all of the things that was happening on Juneteenth, especially in Chicago. 12 people were shot. Let me also say this to the people that's in the chat and the people that's watching the show. All right. To all of the people that's watching the chat and the people that's watching the show. Pray for them and leave them alone. Bro, they are going to kill each other. Let them take each other out. For whatever reason, like, no, I don't want to be associated with you. And you do know, all of y'all know that if there's any situation in which you're going to suffer, right? Meaning that you could possibly lose your life or there's something that is of danger, it's not going to come from somebody that don't look like you. It's going to come from somebody that look like him. It's not going to come from anybody that looks like you. It is going to come from somebody that looks like them. They are going to be the ones that take your life. Bro, we don't ever have to worry about a white person, an Asian person. We don't have to do none of that. It is going to come from somebody that look like them that don't even know you. How can you be mad at a person that you've never met before? How are people so butthurt? I don't see y'all in the white live streams that's talking about it. Ain't that crazy to think about though? When we talk about these situations, when we having these conversations, why aren't y'all, because you don't agree with me, and I don't agree with you either, and that's fair. Why are y'all not over in the white people's conversations and going into their live streams where they're reviewing what's going on with this whole Karmelo footage? Why are y'all over here having a conversation with me about whether you agree with me or not? If you don't rock with me, because I ain't never did nothing to you. If you don't rock with me, why are you over here having a conversation in my chat about something that you don't agree with? Oh, I know they scared of white people. They so scared of white people. They scared of all of it. It's all in name only. It's all on the internet. The last thing, and this is the last thing, and we're going to go over to Chicago, and I'm going to read some of the super chats. The last thing that y'all will ever have to worry about is somebody that is typing hard in your chat, telling you where you from and what you're not welcome to do. You know what I'm saying, Mimi? The last thing that you're ever going to have to worry about is a hard typer that can't even spell in a chat room at 10:55 a.m. Eastern telling you where they are. Sir, you should be at a job. I'm on my job. It's the daytime. It's Monday. Why are you not at work? You said you're not far. I hope you at work. You shouldn't even be talking to me until after 5:30 p.m. And then, even then, you should be heading home so you can take a shower, wash all of them cardboard boxes that you had to build at Amazon off. You know what I'm saying? I be trying to figure out, why are these people not at work? I'm at work. Why you not at work? And why do you know where I work at? You know what? I apologize. You're right. I'm not from Detroit. I don't know nothing about the city. I didn't graduate from Cass Tech in 2000. I didn't go to Hampton Elementary. I was not born at Sinai Hospital. I did not live at 20214 Green Lawn, 48221. I did not live between Norfolk and Chippewa, between 7 Mile and 8 Mile. I wasn't raised here. I do not live here. Right now, I am in Dallas, Texas. Okay, that's the D that I'm talking about. You are 100% correct. I am not from the D, Detroit. I am from D, Dallas. I am in Dallas. So come and see me in Dallas. I'm in Dallas right now. I got my offices and my studios in downtown Dallas. I am not from here. I am from Dallas, Texas. Okay? You are 100% correct. I do not want to or have a conversation with you at all. I apologize for ever representing the city or saying that I'm from here. All right? Matter of fact, yes, my name is actually James P. I'm actually from Kentucky. I just been hanging out in Dallas a lot. Actually, my name is James Fields. All right, James Fields, and I am not from here. And please don't ever come here trying to look for me because you have the wrong person. What's up, Nurse Steph? You know what's so funny, Nurse Steph? I don't even like hanging with dudes anyway. I don't even be with guys. That's how I know if a guy walk up to me, I'm already got my antennas up because I'm like, man, I'm going to see women. I prefer to hang out with women. I would prefer not to hang out with guys. Guys are dusty. Women are nice. They cool. You know what I'm saying? Even if you got different political views, they'd be like, yeah, but you a vibe. I don't hang out with guys. They snakes. You know what I'm saying, Nurse Steph? What up, Steph? Let me read some of these super chats and we're going to head over to Chicago. I love these 3.5, 4-hour shows because I can take my time. I can have conversations. I can mine these out. I can talk back and forth to the chat. And I can read y'all super chats. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Hey, listen. For those of you that are not baking soda, Q31, make sure you tap into the Patreon. I just updated it with the official date and the city that we will be having our next meetup in. It is in the Patreon. I dropped it today. Also, a little bit more housekeeping before I read your super chat, Marty. I am recording with Stephen A. Smith today. Somebody told me that they could stop my motion or something like that. I don't know. I'm recording with Stephen A. Smith today. We are doing a pre-record, and I am doing a debate against somebody else. I'm not going to tell you all about that. I'll tell you all about it afterwards after I record it. So I'm doing that this afternoon. I'm busy, man. I'm networking. I'm having conversations. I'm not trying to be... You right. You are right. You are 100% right. If you're not far, then let me get my train station tickets and get the heck from around y'all. I don't want no problems. I don't want to be around y'all. I don't want to hang out with y'all. I don't want to kick it. Wherever you go, whatever you got going on, God bless you, bro. You're right. You're right. I would love it if you just left, too. I'm not going to ban you because I never ban anybody, but I would love it if you just left and did your own thing. Marty E. McFly says, people like this is why you can't pump and pay later anymore. Facts. Our people used to be trustworthy with morals. What happened? They had kids. Shadow Dragon TV says, didn't look like it was raining in that video. It was like wet. It was like wet. Country Boy Finesse says, if you need a photographer for the meetups, DM me. Slimmy, I got Slimmy, big dog. Slimmy is the man with the camera. Outlander, what up to you? You talking about spending $20? Can I talk about Starmer? What is Starmer? Let me look at what you're talking about. Maybe I'm missing something. Keir Starmer, British Prime Minister, announces his resignation. Oh, okay. I got you. So I'm going to get to that because I also got to do the Michelle Obama video from the Obama Center. I got to do the Barack Obama speech. And so I'll get to Starmer before I get to them, and then we'll rock out. All right? I got you, Outlander. Thank you for letting me know. We're going to dig into it. I got it on the list. Wesley Turner says, wearing a Fear God hoodie at that. It's just a slogan to most people. They don't believe in it. Chance Talks Business says, people say what Karmelo did was irrational, but think pushing someone for minding their own business and being under intent is justified. Wyatt B says, everybody knew he wasn't going to win this case, and his parents did him a disservice by not allowing him to plead out just to capitalize off of the situation to get money. Dark Skin Ken in the building says, boys trying to throw hands, go fight your landlord. Grown men, I'm 44. Positive vibes only, let's get to this money. Talk about it, Ken. Talk about it. We too intelligent for that. Chicago says, coldest roast in YouTube history. You touched it. Where are the wet wipes? Man, when I open a door, sometimes I'll wait for another person to open the door to come in, and then I'll just grab it with my arm like this. You know what I'm saying? Chicago. Chase Barham says, remember you James P. Field. Facts. But I'm hanging in Dallas right now. Orlando Williams Jr. says, oh, so you is from Louisville. Facts. I am. Vito Royale says, if this a Monday show, Red Cup AD by Wednesday and Black Shirt AD by Friday. Man, listen, I literally just took the black shirt off. I'm trying to be more presentable. I'm trying to be more corporate for the Millionaire Morning Show. Q Executive Sweet Emily says, another red couch Ranger in here. Mad at you for not agreeing with the ignorance of the culture. James P. Field is rolling over in his grave. Facts. No Lames TV says, cut it. Put AD. Put AD. Don't put Dallas in this. No, I'm from Dallas, No Lames. I am from Dallas from now on. You know what's so funny about that, No Lames? If I say it long enough, like let's just say for a year, if I say for a year, man, I'm from Dallas, or man, I'm in Dallas, I'm from Dallas. People will start saying Anton from Dallas. Like you can literally program people to think that. My dog, DJ A says, we got another relative of Thirsty in the chat. Hey, DJ Ace, you got to come on the show on Mondays. I'm going to do a gas show. Not this Monday, but I think next Monday. Roscoe P says, Reverend Dr. James P. Fields, put some respect on his name. Mimi says, I'm so bummed, AD. That's my 45th birthday weekend. Well, then come celebrate with us. What you talking about? You need to be out of town anyway. Come kick it with us. Come on, Mimi. What you mean you so bummed? You know, girls celebrate their birthday all month anyway. Chad from Moore says, I hit that 5,000 calorie burn challenge yesterday for Father's Day. Hard work to continue pushing my own limits. Shout out to Chad from Morris and congratulations. Rod Brown. What up to Rod Brown with the 50 ball? Says happy Father's Day, AD, coming from your illegitimate child you have out here. Don't worry, Dad, I'm not too far. What up to Rod Brown? What up to my dog? I appreciate you and happy Father's Day. Happy late, belated Father's Day to all of the fathers out there. Shout out to y'all. Man. As I tell you what, I'd be damned if I sit here and talk back and forth to a dude that ain't even worth two dead nickels, 2 dead flies and 2 nickels. You ain't got 2 nickels to rub together and I'm supposed to be having a conversation with you? Nah. But before I get to Keir Starmer, let's head over to Chi-Town. Because I want to show y'all what was happening over Juneteenth weekend. I want everybody to be aware of what was happening on Juneteenth weekend, okay? Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get to it. This is how black people celebrated in Chicago.
Chicago's South Side. We just learned 12 people were hurt. Asal Razai is live at Chicago Police Headquarters as officers investigate. And Asal, what do we know about the victims so far?
Yeah, Megan, we are still trying to comb through the details that were just released by Chicago police. So far, we know that at least 12 people were shot and taken to local hospitals. We know police found at least 2 of them at the scene near 95th and Wentworth. I want to show you video we have of this scene. You're going to see dozens of evidence markers. We counted over 100.
Do y'all see these evidence markers? It was so many shots that they ran out of evidence markers. Juneteenth. There were so many shots, right? Trump himself had to denounce Chicago violence after, because this was just 12 people that were hit. This past Juneteenth weekend has been the deadliest weekend in Chicago this year. Over 36 people were shot and 7 people were killed. Let me say that again for the people in the back. 36 people were shot In this instance, they actually updated it. It was 12, but now it's 13. 13 people were injured when they did a drive-by. In the black neighborhoods, by the way. Trump says it's a lot of killing going on in Chicago. Over 7 people were killed in majority black areas. 37 people have been shot, 7 of them fatally. And the mayor is sitting there saying that actually they're doing a good job with the violence. They're doing a good job with the violence. Now, they would lead you to believe that, all right, that everything is cool. Not a big deal. Doesn't matter if they ran out of evidence markers for all of the shell casings and the drive-bys. Everything is good. Hey, listen, guess what? There's nobody, 0 people talking about this in the black community. This many. This many people are doing a deep dive about this on TikTok. This many people is doing a deep dive about it on Instagram. This many people is having a conversation about what's happening in the black community and why there's so many shots that they're running out of evidence markers. Do you know that I have a group chat with Chicago police officers? We got a low-key group chat. I have a low-key group chat with Chicago police officers because they just be sending me stuff like, Anton, look at this. This is what we got to deal with. Anton, look at this. Anton, we got to be on high alert. Anton, we got some new threats. Anton, we doing this. Anton, we got to do this. I have a group chat with Chicago police officers that are like, yo, we got to get up out of here. We have to leave immediately. No protests, no civil rights leaders, no conversations, no big deal. Black people killing black people see, this is Juneteenth. This was supposed to be the celebration of Juneteenth weekend. If there was any weekend where we were not supposed to have any black people getting shot and gunned down, it was supposed to be this weekend. It's not like it's something that y'all new to. Biden anointed this in what, 21, 22? Like 2022? He made Juneteenth an official holiday. Why you mad at me? I didn't kill nobody. I was celebrating the graduation of a black queen. I was working in my studio. I was checking on property and development. I was being a contributing member to society. I didn't do nothing. So wait. So you mad at me, but you're not mad at the killers because they don't have no suspects. They don't have no suspects, bro. The person that did this, it's 2 people. 2 people with guns, and then it was a driver. The drive-by shooters, they haven't arrested them. Why y'all not chasing them down? Why y'all not beating down doors? Why y'all not protesting? Why y'all not hunting down the killers of the people that shot these 7 people and killed them over Juneteenth weekend? Then over 36 people were shot. Why you mad at me? I got on an AD shirt. I'm chilling. I don't have nothing to say. Boo, 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 boo. Grrr. Boo, 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 boo. Grrr. Oh, y'all used to it? Y'all used to this This type of violence? Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not used to more than 113 shots and shooting everybody. Shooting the whole everything up. I'm not used to it. I'm not used to it. This is new to me.
We counted over 100 so far. This is just after 11 o'clock last night near 95th and Wentworth. As I mentioned, police say so far their preliminary investigation finding that a red SUV pulled alongside a large crowd there. Two people from inside of that SUV started shooting towards the crowd before driving off. We know multiple victims were shot, 12 people again shot, taken to local hospitals. Again, some of those people were able to drive themselves to the hospitals or be taken by other people. We know officers say they found a 32-year-old woman with at least 2 gunshot wounds to her back, a 44.
Y'all not, wait. Y'all not tripping over black women getting shot, are y'all? Y'all not, wait. You ain't even tripping over black women. A 32-year-old black woman was literally gunned down, shot multiple times. Wait a minute. We not trying to protect our queens to be. She's a queen to be. Y'all not trying to protect our queens? Do our black queens' lives matters? I'm just asking, do black queens' lives matter or not? Which one is it? Because I don't support the fact that she just got shot up in Chicago. I don't support it at all. Why are our queens dying on the streets of Chicago?
Year-old man with several graze wounds to his back. Megan, it appears that the victims are anywhere between 17 and 47 years old.
17. You know what that sounds like? When they say that they're between 17 and 47, that sounds like what we should be using as a litmus to determine whether or not we're reaching the youth and reaching the community. When you say 17 to 47, usually when they say, man, and you're reaching a demographic from 17 to 47, that's usually supposed to be your audience. Like the people that you're targeting for advertisements when you creating content or you're doing a movie show, or if a movie just get released and you say, man, and the demographic of 17 to 47 is the ones that supported the show the most. We're not supposed to be the ones that, when they say 17 through 47 of all of the people that got shot, that's the prime. That means you right there on the cusp of supposedly graduating, and you're just about, if you're at the 47 mark, you're just about to get to the peak of your earning potential within the next 12 years. And you know what I get people all the time saying to me? Anton, no, why are you talking about Chicago? Why are you talking about Chicago? I'm not talking about Chicago. That just happens to be the place where they had the most killings on Juneteenth weekend. I didn't tell them to kill them. I'm just the person that got sent all of the videos. Trump didn't tell them to kill them. Y'all getting mad at Trump because he's saying, man, it's too much violence in Chicago. Trump offered y'all the National Guard. This is the topics I glorify. So this is not the glorification of killing in the community. It's a me problem. It's a me problem. So you may not make it to be, the life expectancy of a black person is significantly lower than other cultures, and that's a me problem for bringing visibility to it. So when I decide I want to be a change agent by highlighting the biggest problems that's happening inside of the community, that's an Anton problem. It's me. It's not the culture. It's not the killers. It's not the people that have the children that raise the killers. It's not the culture that then supports it and champions it and don't bring any visibility to it. So if you bring visibility to Jeff Metcalf, who raised Austin Metcalf, and I bring visibility to Tyrone and Glocktavius that raised mini Glocktavius that just killed 36 people over in Chicago, I'm the problem and you're the solution. Mm. I guess I'm the problem.
Again, this is near the Washington Heights neighborhood. You can see a large police presence there. Officer,
look, hold on, look at this, look at this, look at this. Look at how many bullet casings is out there. There's more bullet casings than evidence markers. They didn't have enough evidence markers. They had to close off the whole street. You see how many bullet casings is over there? Oh my God. You see that? There are shell casings. You can see the shell casings all over the street. They don't even have enough markers, bro. Somebody said, is the Strait of Hormuz closed again? Is the south side of Chicago closed again? Forget the strait. Are we going to be able to get to work tomorrow? Because we got the whole street closed off because everybody got shot up. We ain't got to worry about the strait. We ain't straight. Forget the other strait, the STRAIT. We ain't straight, the real straight over here. Y'all over there talking about Trump and the strait. Man, you got to go outside tomorrow. Forget the Strait of Hormuz. You got to get to the store. You can't even go to Kroger. What are you talking about? Like when people was trying to tell me, oh man, this is what happened. This is overseas. Overseas? What do you mean? Man, I can't believe we even trying to go to Mars. Mars? You can't even get out of your own neighborhood. You ain't got a penny to your name. You ain't got $1,000 in case of an emergency. You riding on 3 ball tires and a spare. The front of your bumper is missing. You got no insurance, no license, no registration, and you high and you driving down the street and somebody is coming down to kill you right now. Don't worry about Mars. Don't worry. Mars ain't got nothing to do with you. If the aliens came here tomorrow, they would not be looking to get you. You got liver damage, kidneys is messed up, probably gonna need a transplant at some point. Lungs is black from smoking cigarettes. You still smoke cigs? Black and milds? You don't have to worry about nothing with regard to aliens, Mars, UFOs, white people, passports, China. This is what I promise you. This is what I promise you. You got to get past 47 because they killing people from 17 to 47 in Chicago. You don't have to worry about nothing. Your goal is, let me tell you what your 3 goals this year. Make it to the end of the year without dying. Don't have any children out of wedlock. Don't have no more kids. You done. Go get a vasectomy. Keep on arguing with me. No, man, I need my nuts. No, you don't. Cut them off. That's the second thing that you need to worry about. Then the third thing that you got to worry about is a job, work, resume, clean up social media so that you can get a job. I don't care where you get it. Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, we got to start somewhere. Amazon, whatever. Job, life, okay? Job, life, no sex, no children. Job, life, no sex, no children. You don't have to worry about the straight. We got that. That's for a whole nother demographic. You don't have to worry about passports. You don't have to worry about traveling. I don't want to see you in these conversations about these hoes. I don't want to see none of that from you. For you, we gonna have tunnel vision. J-O-B, don't die, no kids. The basics of what being a human being is about. We're going to reteach you the basics of being a human being.
police presence there. Officers shining their flashlights as they're investigating that scene. Still very little details available as to what exactly led up to this shooting. We're still hoping to find out more information about the victims and exactly how they're doing so far. It looks like most of them, from the information that we have from police, are in good condition, except one 26-year-old that is in critical condition at the University of Chicago Medical Center right now. Megan, we're working to get more details. We'll bring you more updates just as soon as we learn more. I'm live at Chicago Police Headquarters. Asal Rezai, CBS News, Chicago.
Wow, so many injuries. Thank you, Asal.
Well, you correctly stated that mass shooting did leave a dozen people injured. As far as how injured they are, well, the 26-year-old is critically injured, was brought here to University of Chicago, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. This as investigators continue to look into what sparked this shooting. What we're hearing right now is that it's the result of a drive-by where some individuals who were in a car simply pulled up to a group of folks and opened fire. Now, this all unfolded overnight in the city's south side. Chicago police say calls for help began about a person being shot around 11 o'clock last night. Responding officers arrived in the 200 block of West 95th Street to find a 32-year-old and a 44-year-old wounded. Both had been shot multiple times. Now, upon further investigation, police say they found several other people who had also been attacked. In all, there were about a dozen people, 4 women, 8 men, ranging in age from 17 to 47 years old. Authorities say the gunfire erupted after a red SUV pulled up alongside this group of individuals, and then 2 people inside that vehicle began shooting before fleeing the scene. Now, the victims were all taken to different hospitals, obviously, based on the severity of their injuries. They range, again, from good to critical. Now, the police have not given us any pure motive or simple motive for this particular attack. Of course, as I mentioned before, they're still in the preliminary stages of their investigation. You may want to take note that since Friday night, around 6 o'clock, there have been 21 people shot, including 4 homicides.
And it's so, you know what the worst part about this conversation is that nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to protest. It's not popular enough. There's no money to be made. There's no real progress that they can make. And so they're not going to prioritize you. They're not going to come back and say, you know what? We need to focus on saving lives inside of Chicago, or any black city for that matter, where people continue to shoot it up. And it just is what it is. We cool. We're cool. We're okay. We're not going to trip about it. We're going to make sure that we go about looking at this. I'm just hurt, bro. I'm hurt that you not hurt. I'm hurt that you're not hurt, that y'all getting hurt. That's a bar. I'm hurt that you're not hurt about the fact that y'all continue to get hurt. Nobody cares about the children. Listen, think about it. Karmelo Anthony was 17 years old when he decided that he wanted to stab Austin Metcalf? Well, you got another 17-year-old that just got killed in Chicago and nobody is ever going to know his name, and nobody tripped. Nobody tripped. Nobody made a big deal about it. Nobody acted like, oh my God, we need to say his name. Say his name. Let me Google him. 17-year-old shot in Chicago on Juneteenth. What is the name of the 17-year-old shot in Chicago? Nope, they're not providing no names. I'm assuming that he probably don't want to work with the police to find his killer because he got to get his get back. He got to make sure that he get back at his enemies. No names, no nothing. Say his name. 17-year-old shot in Chicago. Say his name. 17-year-old shot in Chicago. We don't know his name because nobody cares. Why is nobody trying to figure out who the parents is of the 17-year-old that just got shot in Chicago? Send it to me, Slim Trini girl, if you can find it. Nobody cares. How come nobody is protesting about that? Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. We got more to talk about. Manny Plays PC says baking soda need therapy, preferably the one that won't suggest making prank calls to the Golden Palace. P. Shank, what up? Says, good morning, Anton Daniels in the Millionaire Morning Show. What up, P. Shank? Manny Plays PC says baking soda. Oh, yeah. I read that one. My bad. Orlando Williams Jr. said, this is how ninjas celebrate emancipation. It's sad, gang. It's sad. It's sad. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says, I got a homie that have 3 kids under the age of 2. He don't give his lady no break. He back on her at the 5th week mark. Ain't it supposed to be like 2 months at least? 2 or 3 months? Good God. Rashawn says, 80, there's a video of a guy getting shot right in front of the police and the cops turn the other cheek. Also this weekend. Send it to me. Tyrone says, AD, stop slandering my name, bro. I do not endorse the community. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Rod, what up, Rod? My girl, my gorgeous. Rod's supposed to be showing me around, y'all. So I'm heading to Chicago soon, and Rod's going to show me around. Says, I'm familiar with the area. Prison Park is considered the projects. Violence is regular over there, and that's why you don't see any deep dives. Rod, don't take me over to the projects when I get there. Jesse V says, good morning, AD. I'm still making gains on my financial and fitness journey. Thank you for motivating me to be a better person. Your content has made my family and I better people. Wait a minute. But I'm supposed to be bad for the community, Jesse. Real TV says the worst thing about the Karmelo Anthony case is that despite the mounting evidence of the video and the physical evidence, people are still dying on that Karmelo Anthony hill. That's because ain't nobody want to admit that they were wrong. Nobody comes back to the front of the congregation and says, you know what? I got that one wrong. I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions. I should have waited till the evidence came out instead of being a part of the go along, get along. And I should have chilled out. Nobody has that conversation, but it's okay because we're going to have it over here. Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of the UK, is that how they say it? The UK? Recently announced his resignation. And so we definitely want to be there for that. I was just made aware of it. For whatever reason, I wasn't aware. Shout out to Just Christian Black. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. But apparently he just announced his resignation, and we want to be there for that. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Also, before we get into this video, I posted in the Patreon today, I need a head count. I need a rough idea of who's all coming to the meetup in Washington next month. I know Mimi is coming. I know Ra's going to be there. We already know Azriel going to be there. You know what I'm saying? I know all of my ladies is going to be pulling up and they're going to be looking good, smelling good, feeling good. We're going to have a great time. So comment on the post that I put inside of the Patreon today of whether or not you're expected to be there and if you plan on bringing a +1 so I can get a general idea of what I'm working with. All right? Drinks is flowing. Should be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get into this video, y'all.
And here is the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer.
All right, Slim Trini, I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you. Thank you. Walking up this street 2 years ago was the proudest moment of my life. A new Labour government, the first in 14 years. A page in our country's history turned after years of disappointment and despair. The chance to change the lives of millions of people for the better. That's what I came into politics for. The journey to that point
Are they playing music?
was not easy. 6 years ago, I inherited a Labour Party that was politically, financially, and morally bankrupt.
Why are they playing music? Is that normal over in the United Kingdom for them to play music?
I was told time and time again that my party was finished, that we were consigned to history, that a majority at the general election, let alone a landslide majority, was impossible. But we proved those people wrong because we changed our party, ripping out the poison of anti-Semitism, restoring trust on the economy, defence and national security, and becoming a party that once again stood proudly with, not against, our national flag. The hard work of change was with a singular purpose, not power for power's sake, but to change Britain for the better, to build a fairer country with dignity and respect, where everyone is seen, everyone is valued, wealth and opportunity for all, not just the privileged few. And look at what we've achieved in just 2 years. An economy that is stronger, growing faster than our peers. Wages rising faster than inflation in every single month since we came to power. Investment secured, infrastructure being built. An end to austerity, with the fastest fall in NHS waiting lists for 17 years. The biggest improvement in rights for workers and renters in a generation. The biggest uplift in defence spending since the Cold War. Small boat crossings falling. Asylum hotels closing. Protecting young people from social media. And 500,000 children being lifted out of poverty because of the choices that I made.
Somebody said, why is he resigning though? Because right now you're basically seeing him giving himself a pat on the back and naming all of the things that he felt like he did right. But the first thing is that the person that he actually appointed as ambassador to the United States of America, the UK ambassador to the United States, was Peter Mandelson. Now, Peter Mandelson, because people started questioning his leadership because he appointed Peter Mandelson. Peter Mandelson also had deep ties to Jeffrey Epstein. So one of the things that people don't understand is that they think that the United States and only what happens in the US is central to what's happening throughout the world. No. Jeffrey Epstein had ties to government entities and people that spanned well beyond the US. The only thing that we care is about the US, but people started questioning his leadership and his credibility and his judgment once this scandal took place, and it started to define who he was as a prime minister and his lack of ability to control whatever it is going on now. Let me be very candid about this, all right? People will overlook mistakes that you may have made or issues that may arise when it comes to your moral stance if they are thriving. If you are not thriving, if the country is not thriving, if they don't feel like they are moving forward in a progressive way that is beneficial for their life, then they are absolutely positively going to call for a change. And that's what you see happen in every election cycle, right? The reason why you could keep seeing a flip-flop, even in the U.S., of, well, the Democrats are the ones that hold 3 branches of government. The Republicans are the ones that hold 3 branches of government. We haven't even seen the 3 branches of government being held by one political party since what? Barack Obama, and that's when he passed Obamacare. Eventually, they made a switch and they went over to Republican when they went to Trump. And then Biden stole an election in 2020. That's what I believe. And then we went back over to Trump, who was supposed to be the person that stewarded us through the pandemic. But I'm thankful that we have him now because he is solving for problems and putting things in place that allows for us to really grow as a country. Manufacturing, semiconductor chip shortage, removing illegal aliens from coming inside of the country, so on and so forth. So you're going to continue to see a flip-flop. But when people see you making bad judgment calls, they are willing to forgive you as long as you are winning and you are taking care of business when it comes to your ability to compete as a country, which benefits the whole country as itself, right? But his whole Labor Party is suffering, is saying that they lost over 1,000 local council seats, and people are really turning against him. He has one of the lowest approval ratings of all time, a record low. And one of that is not only because people were looking at the reputation of the people that he's appointing. That's a small thing. The biggest thing that they're saying is that he made core promises of economic growth, and they have a cost of living crisis over in the UK. They also have infrastructure problems where he's failing to repair public services. He's switched his stance on popular issues like welfare reform and business rates. And he's had a lot of allies and people as a part of his administration resign, including the defense secretary, over military spending disputes. So basically, he's a lame duck prime minister until his party selects a new leader. So when you see him making this announcement, really he's just making this announcement and he's highlighting how successful he is. But in reality, this is nothing more than a resignation speech. And so he's highlighting what he's done that's awesome.
Our reputation in the world.
Let me also say that there's a illegal alien crisis that's over in the UK also.
Restored, with Britain once again standing up for decency, respect, and the rule of law, securing trade deals, standing with Ukraine, standing up for our values, and rebuilding our relationship with our allies in Europe. Change promised by a Labour government, change fought for by a Labour government, change delivered by a Labour government. But I know the question being asked now is not who was best placed to change the Labour Party, to take us into power and to begin the vital work of improving lives for millions of people. Those questions have been answered. The question my party is asking now is whether I am best placed to lead us into the next general election.
Obviously, that's not true. Trill Mercy, actually, you said Justin Trudeau 2.0. I agree. Because, but here's the problem. Here's the problem with Justin Trudeau over in Canada. Because Justin Trudeau was very weak, just like the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer that's stepping down. Here's the key about it, though, is that they replaced Justin Trudeau with an even more progressive, more liberal leader over in Canada. They didn't fix the issue. They pushed further into the thing that they were actually protesting against. And I'm wondering if they're going to do the same thing in the UK. One thing that is interesting, Azrael, is that there's a lot of people that's coming over here visiting from places like the UK, and they've never been here before. And they're saying, oh my God, America is great. Oh my God, America is the best country that I've ever been to. Oh my God, I can't believe how great this country is and how free y'all are to make the choices that y'all want to make when y'all want to make it, and y'all actually standing up for freedom and lack of censorship and you know, you can buy and do whatever you want to do. You can make your own way. A lot of the people that are in these countries that y'all are saying are so great, they want to come over here. They want to be under the Trump administration's United States of America. It's crazy how the people over here are whining, but guess what they're not going to do? They're not going to leave. They're not going to leave.
I have heard the answer of my parliamentary party to that question, and I accept that answer with good grace.
Well, I know who Andy Burnham is. Andy Burnham is a person that's actually getting more visibility, and he ran in it was like a runoff over in the UK, and he's getting more support and the people actually rocking with Andy. But I'll talk about him tomorrow. I want to get into this conversation really quick.
The decision I've taken has been about putting the country I love first. That is why I will resign as leader of the Labour Party. I have spoken to His Majesty the King this morning to inform him of my decision.
The fact that they got a king is wild.
I will ask the National Executive Committee of the Labour Party to set out a timetable with nominations opening on the 9th of July and completed by the summer recess. In the case of a contest, this will ensure a new leader is in place before Parliament returns in September. I will remain in post as Prime Minister until the contest is complete, and I will do everything I can to ensure an orderly handover of power. I will also give my successor my full and unequivocal support, knowing that they will inherit a Britain that is far stronger and fairer than the one I inherited 2 years ago, better prepared for the challenges ahead, and better able to ensure the Labour Party secures a second term in office. I want to thank all of those friends and colleagues who have been at my side for these past 6 years or so, for their incredible commitment, service and support. I want to thank the brilliant Number 10 staff and our country's extraordinary civil service who dedicate their lives to public service. And when I leave the biggest job in the country, I shall spend more time on the most important job, being the best husband I can to my fantastic wife, Vic, who has been a rock by my side through good times and bad, and being the best dad I can to my beautiful children, who are my pride and my joy.
Why is it that when everybody resigns or when anybody steps down, and it doesn't matter if it's over in the UK or the US, any political position, any corporate position, anything with high visibility, they all say the same thing. You can almost predict what they're going to say. And you know what? Now that my job is done here, I'm going to now be focused on whatever it is that I'm supposed to do, and that is being a great dad. Somebody said you had to read it to know all of the different things that is going on. Well, usually that is what you do when you educate yourself on what's going on in another country. So wait a minute, y'all holding me accountable for reading now? Yo, listen. What the people, I'm gonna tell you this. What the people that come here every day, that want to hold you accountable, yo, they are holding us accountable for reading and educating ourselves now. They are holding ourselves accountable for reading. So how would you find out any new information except for to read? Otherwise, you would have to lean on somebody else's opinion. Oh, the prime minister had to. Okay, I thought you were saying something else. You said the prime minister had to read his speech. Well, all speeches are written. All speech, even Michelle Obama and Barack's speech that we about to go to right now, their speeches are written. There's like a lot of people were heralding. I haven't seen the speech yet, but I'm definitely about to lean into it. A lot of people are saying that Just a Brown Girl in America, I'm expecting to see you at the meetup on the 25th. Go inside of the Patreon and let me know that you're coming. I got you, Jamie. My bad. That was my bad. All speeches are written. And everybody were gushing over Obama's speech, and they were gushing over Michelle's speech because they opened up the Obama Presidential Library. And so I'm going to go over both of those speeches in a second. But they said you're a ran or reading a N-word. Oh my gosh. Let me read a little. Let me know a little bit more about this speech about him being a great dad. What does that even mean? Thank you, Rhonda. I appreciate you. What does that even mean? What does that mean when a person is resigning and they say, well, now I'm going to do my other job, the best job in the world. I'm going to be a great dad and a great husband. Well, I get the great dad part, but I don't get the great husband part. Because what do you mean? How can you be any more of a great husband than being the prime minister of the United Kingdom? What are you talking about? This is what I promise you, right? Like I was looking at I rewatched Savannah James' podcast where LeBron was on there and he was giving his opinion and stuff like that. And one of the things that LeBron has said in multiple interviews is that when he retires, he's going to be focused on being a husband and being there for it's like, I always find that very interesting because I'm like, when you resign as a high profile person that spent a lot of time working and grinding and hustling and building and stuff like that, am I supposed to just sit around and hang out with you all day? Like when people retire from sports, you know how like the big quarterbacks or the linebackers or whatever, and they retire and they say, they say stuff like, yep, I'm going to be a more present father and spend it. What does that mean? What does that mean? Am I supposed to like cook breakfast? And I'm going to talk about it tomorrow, SR 2000, Clive Davis. Am I supposed to cook breakfast? Am I supposed to be like, what am I supposed to do, Maria? I never understood that. I'm going to spend more time with my wife. Why? So we can break up? One of the reasons why a lot of these relationships work so well is because y'all not seeing each other all day, every day. Y'all must don't remember what happened during the pandemic. But you know what? When you a prime minister for the UK or you a former president of the US, you know what the one issue is? Or even if you're a really big public figure, you know what the one issue is? Is that you can never get divorced. You can never get divorced. No matter what happens, no matter how much head Bill Clinton got, he was never able to get divorced. When you look, be careful. Be careful what y'all ask for. When you become these major politicians and you do all of this stuff, you can't get divorced. You stuck. It's up and stuck. STEM says it means they'll spend more time with their families, like eat dinner, as opposed to being absent. Overrated. 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 You know why people in Japan live longer than everybody else? Because they never retire. They never retire. Every man that I've ever seen retire from the plant. Every man that I've ever seen retire, I don't care if he was 80. I don't care if he was 76. I don't care what happens. Every guy that I've ever seen retire, and I'm just keeping it 100. Every one of them that retired from the plant and was no longer working, they were dead within 5 years. They were dead within 5 years. They die. The minute that they started focusing 100% on whatever it is that was at home that kept them there or that they were working towards, they died. I'm telling you, and I'm not saying that anybody else. I'm not telling anybody else what they got to do. They died. They died. I'm telling you, bro. Or they just continued to wither away. Somehow, all of a sudden, they started getting sickly. They just started looking decrepit. I ran into a guy from the plant the other day. And he was like, man, what did he say? You heard about... Gotta go on my contacts. I don't even know what this guy's name was again. What was his name? I wish I remembered his name. But whatever. He was a guy that was one of the people that was there when I first got to the plant. He was like, man, you heard about what happened to such and such? I forgot what his name is. And I said, nah, what's going on with him? He died. Yeah, he retired and then he wound up passing away like a couple years afterwards. I'm like, what's the point of retiring? I have a better suggestion for people. I think that the play should be not to retire, but to retire from doing the thing that you don't want to do so you can do the thing that you love to do and still make money at it. Listen, men need to make money. I hate to say it. I hate to be that blunt with you. I hate to be that transparent with you. Men need to make money. If we are not productive, if we not building something, if we not making money as a result of doing something that's meaningful to us, we don't like it. It's only so much grass you can cut. It's only so much you can get out of the gutters or the roof. If we not doing something to make some money and feel like we building towards something, you don't even feel like a man no more. You don't feel like a man. You don't feel. Take away a guy's ability to earn and let him be a community advocate and being out here doing that junk for free and broke and making no money. And look, watch how much love you get. They're going to look at you the same way as the bum that's sweeping up the corner lot. Take away a man's ability to earn and you will kill his spirit. He has to have the possibility of being able to earn. Like even when you go into school, you're working towards earning. When women earn, like let's say for example, women go and get a degree. Women can live in the idea, listen, I'm educated, I'm a black woman, I'm a white woman. I don't need no man, all of that. Their whole identity is wrapped up in independence. Men need more, right? It's not enough to be a man and to be self-sufficient. Women don't even respect your ability to be independent and self-sufficient. They're like, oh, that's what your basics are. Now, a woman could be broke, right? A woman could have nothing working for whatever. And you know what she gonna say? Where all my scamming ninjas at? Going there, go y'all back. Spin that Because a woman can have a goal of being a housewife, meaning that she has no earning ability whatsoever, and that could be sufficient. And women will argue with each other on whether or not you should be a housewife or a trad wife. I can't believe it. You need to have a safety net. Now, if a guy start talking about, you know what, I want to have a safety net, and it's not enough. Being self-sufficient is the first step to even being a person. Not even a man, just a person. You're not a man in people's eyes and society's eyes unless you have the ability to provide. Even if you're not providing, you have to have the ability to. What? You want to do what? That's why 50-50 was so appalling. 50 who? 50 Cent or 50-50? I know who 50 Cent is. I don't know who 50-50 is. You know why they don't know what 50-50 is? Because they don't look at you as a man as a 50-50. Bro, if you get into a relationship with a woman, and I'm not talking about a chick that you just busting down. I ain't talking about tricking. I ain't talking about doing none of that stuff. If you get into a relationship with a woman and y'all are combining, like you need her, she needs you, and I'm not talking about you need her emotionally or anything like that. If you need her and she needs you, eventually the respect will eventually fade. Because she got to go outside and she got to see the chicks that's out here getting to it. That's why women get mad at chicks that's hoes. And they say, y'all want them anyway, y'all want them too. The hoes is winning. They want to be able to buy you something with your money for your birthday. If she has to use her own money outside of your own birthday or a special day, in the inside, she dying a little bit every day. You can think it, you know what, man, me and my baby, we working together, whatever. Dog, she not telling you what she really think. She want to work because she like working. She don't want to work to be able to provide for herself. She wants you to be able to do that. And so even if she with you, you just a placeholder until she can do better. If she's never able to do better, then, you know, she'll be stuck with you. But no woman wants, they may do it, no woman wants, even if they work, they do not want to be dependent on to be a provider or a help in that way inside of their household. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. It's who we are. It's how we made up. It's the way in which we're raised. It's the society that we live in. It's our makeup. It's our DNA. What's one of the first red flags that these women be jumping on these videos and they say, my first red flag? What? I had to buy my own ring. In their mind, listen to what I'm saying. Right, wrong, indifferent, no matter how you feel. in a woman's mind, they think that we exist to make their world better. We're going to work and we're going to create and fight these wars, and we're going to fight for independence and freedom so that they can protest for the right to vote. We have to civilize the world. We're going to war, we're going to fight, we're going to do money wars, we're going to do all of that stuff so that may the best man win, so that I can create this environment for me to be able to exist in and live this off life. Y'all fought that war? Now I need the right to vote. Now I need to be able to have some say-so on what goes on. I need to be able to run the world. Somebody said it's supposed to be a symbiotic relationship. I got this bridge that I want to sell you, bro. It's in Montana. I got this bridge I want to sell you. I have a bridge that I want to sell you. That's why it's so much harder for a woman to be able to leave a man that's a provider, no matter how bad of a person that he is, or no matter how sucky he is at the time. Spin that, because she'll even say, oh no, he's a good person and all of that stuff. Let me tell you something, bro. Women leave good men every day, and women stay with men that may not be as good of a person as that other guy, but his ability to provide and protect is numero uno, number one. And don't you forget it. Don't you forget that women stay with men that I tried to tell y'all. That's all right. This is going to be a part of the toxic masculinity talks that I have. A woman would rather be a great provider's number 2 than a regular man's number 1. A woman would prefer to be a great man's number 2 than a basic man's number 1. And they gonna tell it like this: he's a good man, he's not a good man for me. Our value is in our greatness. And that's why you should never place a woman on a pedestal, because she don't want to be placed on a pedestal. She wants you to place your greatness on a pedestal so that she can benefit from it. Because if she's on a pedestal, she knows she ain't nothing. She can't do nothing for you. What's she gonna do? Suck you? Buck you? What's she gonna do for you? You placing something on a pedestal that can't do nothing else for you. If I create this bottle and then I place this bottle on a pedestal, but it can't do anything for me, what value does it have to me? Now, the bottle is grateful for being made and for being placed on a pedestal, but the bottle is like, but I would like to go to a higher level. What can she do for you? All she can do, what do they say? Well, how do you add value? I can inspire him. I can do this. I can do that. That's not a value add. You know what I'm saying? So the thing about it is that she can't do anything for you. Am I being a little too toxic right now? A woman is nothing more in a man's life. And it's the reason that we put up with y'all despite the headache that comes along with it. A woman is nothing more than a very, very pretty, sexy accessory. That's it. She's a nice to have. She's a accessory. She's something nice to feel on. She's something to talk to. She's a very, very pretty, awesome accessory. But she cannot fix you. She can't save you. She can't protect you in a brawl. She can't stop a burglar from taking your life. She can't stop nobody from taking you to jail. She can't put a roof over your head. She can't do nothing. She can't do not one thing. Not one thing for you as a man. She can't even raise a man by herself. What makes you think that she can do anything for a grown man except for open up her legs or her mouth, and that's it? And that doesn't mean that that's a bad thing. That's the thing that we love. God has crippled us in that way and made us weak for a woman. That is our Achilles heel. That is the thing that keeps us in spaces that we not supposed to be in when we're not supposed to be there. But let's be very, very clear. Let's be very clear. You as a man, and I'm not dissing women. I think that women are the most awesome things ever. But let me be very clear. She cannot raise a man by herself. She can't raise a boy by herself. She cannot raise or help you do anything. It is on you. It is all on you. When the going gets tough, when your life is in shambles, she can try to stick around as long as she possibly can, but eventually she gone. Because I got to do what's best for me. If a woman is in the dumps, we expect to be picking her up from the crack house and cleaning her up. If a man is in the dumps, I want what's best for you, but God gonna have to save you. God gotta come for you. God gotta fix you. Tiffany says, that is what you think, but that's not true. You need the right woman and she will change your opinion. I'm going to save that for toxic masculinity night. All right. Come on in on Friday. I'm going to address that, Tiffany. Come on in on Friday and I'm going to address that, Tiffany. Because I'm going to just tell you right now, as a person that loves to brand myself, I got the AD watch holders, right? I got the AD shirt. I got all of that. Let me tell you something, Tiff. No matter what you think, and I love you, baby girl. Tell her Sabrina, poor Tiff, I love you. I love you. A woman is only as good as the man that she attaches herself to. Remember that. If you don't hear anything else from this soliloquy, Tiffany, remember, you're never as good by yourself as a woman as the man that you can attach yourself to. That is where your status come from. Don't let none of these women tell you that. Your goal is to find the best man that ultimately can catapult you into the stratosphere. Your goal is to find the man that can catapult you and get you to the spaces that you feel like you need to be at. You are only as good as the man that you attach yourself to, no matter how many degrees that you get, no matter how much you think you accomplish, no matter how many glass ceilings that you think you can break through. Don't think for a second, not even a little bit, that you can be out here doing it on your own and thrive. Don't think for a little bit. And I'm not dissing you. I'm giving you the game. I'm about to get into this Michelle Obama speech, speaking of women, because guess what? We would not know who Michelle Obama is without Barack Obama, regardless of where you stand on the political spectrum. We would not know who Michelle Obama is if not for Barack Obama. Shout out to my dog, Just Christian Black. I appreciate you. But we was always going to know who Barack was. It didn't matter who he picked, Michelle or otherwise. Amethyst Angel says the report about the 300,000 victims of grooming gangs was released on Friday. The government swept the crimes under the rug so as to not offend the Pakistani Muslim perpetrators. Ooh! Woo! Chris Cunningham in the building says, the Europeans love the facts we have guns. I like it too. Marty E. McFly says, AD, you see all of the father bashing on Father's Day? No, that's not on my algorithm, big dog. That wasn't on my algorithm. Bad Habit says, if I bring the hose, can I get a 10 plus? Nope, because we don't have no hose at our meetups. We only have respectable women that like to dance, smell good, and have a good time. We got more than enough of them. AD, do you follow any of your favorite mentors? Do you follow any of your favorite mentors? No. I'm my favorite. I'm my favorite mentor. Thoughts on mystical sentence? What is mystical sentence? Let's see. Mystical received 20 years in prison without parole for a 2022 third-degree rape and assault. He sexually assaulted, choked, and held a woman against her will at a Prairieville, Louisiana home. He pleaded guilty to third-degree rape, avoiding a mandatory life sentence for original first-degree rape charges. This is not the first time that Mystical has been to prison. He should have been on his best behavior. And if you out here raping women, like real talk, like in real life, if you are out here raping women, you deserve 20 years. If you are out here taking box, unauthorized, I'm not talking about women accusing you of something that you didn't do. Because I heard what he said, and he said, listen, if that's what I did, then I deserved every day that I get in prison. If you are out here taking box unauthorized and choking women and holding them against their will and doing stuff you're not supposed to do, you deserve every day. Every day you deserve. And again, this wasn't even, when I first discovered Mystical, I think he had just got out of prison or something like that. This is from 2022. It's from 2022. Yeah, go ahead and do your time, big dog. My dog, AD, shout out to the chat. Shout out to Courtney Egger. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. I just dropped something in the Patreon. IDF says hello from Iran. Okay, I thank you for your $2. Bad Habit says, hey, no, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. It's All on You by BG. Because if I say it, it's going to start playing the music in the background. Shout out to Bad Habits. Anthony Weston says, cook, gang, cook. Long Way ENT says, women are not leaving a 50-50 guy either. Yeah, I heard it's rough out here in these streets. What up to Jesse V Royalty? Thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate y'all. All right, y'all. Michelle Obama. Michelle. Michelle. We're opening up the Obama Presidential Library. We didn't all the way pay all of our contractors, but we need you to give a speech. Is that okay, Michelle?
Wow. Hello, everyone, and what a beautiful day, right? Nothing like a project by my husband to bring out the sun. Let me start by thanking Addison for that magnificent introduction, especially to all of... Oh,
hold on. Is that Sasha and Malaya? Sheesh. Hold on. Obama daughters. How old are they? One of them is 27 and one of them is 25. Hey, she cute in the mug though. Not the taller one. You know what I respect about them is I respect the fact that they completely stay out of the mix, to be honest with you. They completely stayed out of the mix, 100%. Told you, boy, that chocolate had aged beautifully. For whatever reason, the chocolate would be aging beautifully.
Thank you for bringing so much joy and spirit and energy to a life you had no voice in choosing, and for making us proud every step of the way. Love you, babe. Oh.
Yeah, the chocolate one, she hitting.
So please indulge me for a moment, because I'm gonna take a little time to do something that I know my husband will not do today, and that is to fully sing his praises. Barack, you gotta look at me. You told me all those years ago that you couldn't promise me the world, but you could promise me an interesting life. And of course, you outdid yourself and managed to give me both. I know it hasn't always been easy, but there hasn't been a single second through this experience that standing by your side hasn't left me in awe. 8 years in the crucible, and not once did you melt from the heat. Not once did you let it harden you. Instead, you used it to reveal your truest essence, your stubborn optimism and unflinching courage, your dazzling brilliance and unpretentious decency, your ferocious work ethic, and absolutely unshakable.
Is Bill Clinton alive back there? Hold on, let me see something.
Used it to reveal your truest essence, your stubborn
Is Bill a mannequin back there?
Optimism and unflinching courage, your dazzling brilliance and unpretentious decency, your ferocious work ethic, and absolutely unshakable moral fiber. And to do it all as a first, and the higher standard that comes with all that, the claims that a U.S. senator and constitutional law expert wasn't qualified for the job, the lies about your birthright, your faith, your patriotism, the outrage when you stated the biological fact that if you'd had a son, that he too would be black. Yet, you were unflappable at every turn, always focused, always calm, always looking at the long view. How absurd it is to even imagine that you might have buckled under the pressure even once, lashed out in frustration, lost your temper. How absurd it is to imagine that you might have done anything but make our family and this entire country proud.
Wake up, Bill. Wake up, Bill.
No, you were too busy. I'm not done, y'all. Not done. So much to say. You were doing the people's work, rescuing our economy, expanding health care, ending a war, ordering the bin Laden raid, saving an auto industry, winning a peace prize.
I will say, I give Obama a lot of grace, and I don't even rank him even remotely close to the presidents in my lifetime that have done a bad job, because I don't think that Obama did a bad job. I want to be very clear. It's very hard to judge a person and say that they did a bad job when the person before them, in my opinion, in Bush, was the worst president of my lifetime, even worse than Biden, and I stand by that. The worst president of my lifetime was the second Bush, and I stand by that. And what I'm trying to understand is, how come Bush don't get the same type of heat that all of the other presidents get? And I know for a fact that Bush was the worst president in my lifetime. The worst in my 44 years on this earth of being able to vote and look and observe and understand politics, civics 101. Bush is the worst president in my lifetime. By far. And that is one of the reasons why I give Obama grace, is because when he came into the office, he inherited a cluster F. Some of y'all wasn't around, some of y'all wasn't alive, some of y'all may not have been able to vote, some of y'all have been completely removed. You don't understand how bad of a president he was and what Obama walked into. Real talk. 100%. And for whatever reason, it's like we forget that 8 years. We act like he didn't do what he did. Man, the whole auto industry was in shambles. The economy was in shambles. And I mean, I ain't even talking about the shambles. I mean, the world economy was in shambles. Man, Biden don't come close to what Obama did to the economy. Biden is not even remotely in the same space as the economy. Not even close. It's not a conversation. The worst president ever. And so when I think about what Obama had to come into, he had to come into this thing running, trying to figure it out, all of that stuff, because, ooh, I don't even like remembering it. I get PTSD. My hands start shaking a little bit when I start thinking about the Bush era. In a way, Bush created Obama. Bush is the person that actually created and is the reason why Obama even existed in the first place. Bush created Obama. The only reason that they was able to sell us hope is because we had nothing. We had nothing. We had no hope. We had no opportunity. We had no money. We had no. Bush is the catalyst behind the Obama surge and the love for him, because ain't no way in hell you would have ever in the 90s even thought of that a black person, a black man, would ever become president of the United States of America. I ain't gonna cap with you. When everybody was broke, poor whites, they was like, I got these cheeseburgers, man. Oh, man. Middle class whites that thought that they was middle class, but they got their reality checked and they didn't realize that it was a class war. It was like, okay, you know what? I can't keep going this way. We got to go another way. We got to go another way. It's just a fact. I'm keeping it 100. I have to be objective. And in my objectivity, I have to keep it 1,000 with you 1,000% of the time. It was bad, dog. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. It was a bad time to be alive. Boy.
Safe from Ebola, regulating the banks, standing up for marriage equality, listening to science, and comforting an entire nation in the face of unspeakable tragedies. And you did it all with such grace and class and cool that you made the hardest job in the world look like a walk in this beautiful park. Your mother, Toot, Gramps, you are a tribute to their love. They are up there grinning and hugging today because you never forgot who you are and where you came from. Single mother, working hard to get by and get an education and show her son the world. Grandparents who didn't have much, but they had the perfect recipe to nurture your flame. You never forgot the folks in the union halls and church basements here in Chicago, where you first put your ideals to this test. You never forgot all the voters you registered and students you taught and neighbors you organized. You never fell for the temptation of a quick fix or an easy payday.
Oh, they got their money.
You never changed from that idealistic summer associate who showed up on that rainy day when we first met without an umbrella. You always gave us the very best within you. And in doing so, you reminded the rest of us that we could too.
Whoever their speechwriters are,
Barack,
they have some incredibly good speechwriters. I'm not even gonna cap. Every time that she jumps up and does a speech, whether it's the Democratic National Convention or the opening of the Obama Library, she absolutely kills it when it comes to her speeches. And so I don't know if she wrote it. I don't know if there's some other people that write it. I don't know if she participated in writing it or whatever. But whoever it is that's putting these speeches together, they be cooking. Obamas have the best speech writers ever.
There are no words to express how proud I am of the way you showed up and continue to show up every single day. It has been an honor to be by your side. You have made me a better person and have given us all an example that we should strive to emulate. And I hope you know, there is truly no higher calling than that. All right. To all of you joining us today, our invited guests, and everyone listening and watching from afar, the Obama Presidential Center was created as a beacon of hope, a monument to our unshakable values, the ones my husband has exemplified his entire life: equality, empathy, honesty, inclusion, fairness. And especially during these anxious and divisive times, it is so important that we remember that those values are not unique to my husband. They are the same ones that your husbands and wives, your parents and children, your friends and neighbors exhibit and pass on. Every single day, millions of people in this country wake up doing their very best to live decent and purposeful lives. Yeah, we're all tested in one way or another. And there are plenty of times we all fall short. But deep down in our hearts and souls, we all know right from wrong. We know selflessness from greed, righteousness from injustice. We understand that we all rise and fall together, that every last one of us is an invaluable contributor to the greatness of America. And I'm talking about the workers living paycheck to paycheck, hoping to give their kids a better future. The teachers using their own money to take their students on field trips. The business owners struggling to meet payroll but refusing to close their doors. All those folks sweating over stoves to provide meals for their communities. Folks shivering in the freezing cold to deliver our packages. Picking up trash to keep our parks clean. Volunteers dedicating their weekends to coaching t-ball or directing the church choir or mentoring a child. That's where the truth of this country lies. Not in grabbing as much as we can get for ourselves or knocking folks down to prop ourselves up, but in the overwhelming goodness, the relentless striving, the quiet dignity that is inside all of us. Our greatest hope is that this center can reflect back just a fraction of that light.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I think Onaka said it in the chat. Was that Onaka that said that? Poetry speeches strike again. That's what it is. They are very, very, and I'm gonna give props where prop is due. They are very good at eloquently speaking, and all of this is, honestly, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. A lot of it is trained. It can't, in order to be a great orator, a lot of times it's not just being able to read a speech, is when to pause, is when to say stuff, and it's what you're articulating while you're saying, and then it's a great way to sell hope. And it doesn't matter how good or bad you were, right? And we all got our opinions on how good Obama did as far as his presidency in the 8 years that he was in, and the things that was meaningful to him, and the different policies that he implemented, and the economy that he inherited. But the fact of the matter is, the speech itself is very impactful and powerful, because to know how to grasp and get people out of their seats is an art. To be able to articulate yourself and to have people understand you is an art. And the Obamas are very good at it, and that's why they were able to sell us hope. The Obamas are very great at it, and that is why they are able to sell us hope. That is why the Black community will forever endear themselves to the Obamas. That is why liberals and Democrats will largely consider him the Messiah. And to his credit and to their credit, they have lived up to expectations. And I'm not talking about their presidency. I'm talking about how they carry themselves. Obama don't get caught up in no mess. Ain't never been caught up in no mess. Ain't in no Epstein files. Ain't in none of that. And so, in a way, Black people look to the Obamas, including Michelle, as the personification of how Black people are supposed to carry themselves, because it's very rare that you get some that don't have no dirt on them like that. You can get a lot of stuff through if people believe in you, and it doesn't matter if it's actually good or bad, but when people actually love you, when they listen to you, you can get a lot of things through. You can get a lot of things done, and a lot of things when people believe in you, and they believe in them. They believe in them. They believe in the Obamas. And in a way, again, I think that they are a great representation of what Black people are supposed to be as far as the community, because they actually buck every stereotypical norm of what you're not supposed to be. Educated, articulate, 2 daughters, no major scandals, no Epstein files, no none of that stuff, and is able to sell you. Boy, Obama can sell you. He can sell you anything. Anything. Now, this building, I'm trying to learn they say it's 4 hands coming together, and it's representing something. I mean, it's fitting. It's fitting for Chicago. The whole Dungeons and Dragons thing that y'all got going over there with the Obama Center, the whole prison landscape, and they say that it was to make sure that they created an environment that would showcase the screens or the sun wouldn't be damaging to all of the artifacts inside of the place. I get it. Looked like a big tomb to me. Somebody said Anton voted for Obama. He capping. That's true. That is very true. I voted for Obama in 2008 and I voted for Obama in 2012. That is absolutely positively true. That's not new information though. Like I've been said that. I'm probably one of the rare people that I actually tell you that I was able to defect from the Democratic plantation. And I did. At 2008, I was 26. 2012, I was 30. And I did. I voted for Obama both times. I had to pause a second time, and I was like, I don't know about this. But the first time I was drinking a Democrat Kool-Aid. I was right in there with everybody else. I absolutely voted for Obama. Twice. We had a whole church, and they said, everybody make sure y'all vote for Obama. All of the black people vote for Obama. That's what I voted for. I 100% voted for Obama. You are correct. So I'm not really sure if that's new information or not for some of you that may have just been joining, that may just be be getting familiar with the platform, but I didn't know that was like a breakthrough situation. You campaigned for him? I voted for him. Matter of fact, let me get right over into his speech. Why wait? Let's get into it. Obama. Michelle. Hey. What's going on, guys?
Hello, Chicago. Sweet home, Chicago. Please have a seat. Thank you, Punihi, for that outstanding introduction. President and Mrs. Bush, President and Secretary Clinton, thank you for being with us today and for your devotion to our country.
Yeah, they telling me
and
that,
President
Billy Ray. I'm going to check that out. I'm going to check that out tomorrow. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow.
For your steadfast partnership for 8 years. Joe, we started as running mates and ended as family.
Can Joe hear you?
We would not be here without you.
Is Joe there?
And we are grateful. To our amazing foundation staff and our amazing board, to Governor Pritzker, Mayor Johnson, thank you for making this center possible.
He could never be Obama. They all are chasing a ghost. Let me keep it 100 with you. Listen, y'all could be as disrespectful as y'all want to inside of the chat. I'm not even going to acknowledge it. I don't think that Obama warrants the level of disrespect that y'all have towards him, because if y'all don't have that same energy for Bush, then I'm not trying to hear it. Y'all selective, and if y'all don't have that same energy for Bush, if not more, then I definitely... Y'all disrespect Obama worse than y'all disrespect Biden, and I don't understand it because, again, Biden and Bush are the worst presidents of my lifetime, and I'm trying to understand. Y'all don't have this level of disrespect for Biden. Y'all don't have this level of disrespect for Bush. Y'all don't even mention Bush. I think y'all scared of Bush. I think y'all scared of Bush, 100%. But the one thing is for sure and the two things is for certain is Brandon Johnson and Timo Obama. They could never, ever, ever hold a candle because they aren't as articulate. They ain't as smooth. They ain't as cool. They can't sell hope. They can't do none of that. They can't do none of that. Brandon Johnson and Atimu Obama inside of the White House, we all know. Even Wes Moore, they all look up to Obama. They all are Obama fights. They all Obama fights. Hey, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all what I caught Slimmy doing this weekend, y'all. I'm going to save it, though, for Tuesday. I'm going to save it for Tuesday. I'm going to tell y'all what I caught Slimmy doing over the weekend. Don't worry about it. We're going to get there, y'all. Tuesday, make sure y'all tuned in to Room 9 After Hours. I couldn't believe it. I said, not Slim. Not my dog, Warlord Slimmy. I couldn't believe it. Y'all ain't going to believe what I caught Slimmy doing this weekend. It is crazy. It is absolute. Slimmy the Drake lover. I'm going to just say that. But nah, Brandon Johnson and Timu Obama, they could never be the real Obama.
To congressional leaders and foreign dignitaries who've made the trip, I cherish our partnership together and all we got accomplished together. Thank you. To Michelle, she did me wrong. She wouldn't let me see her speech. She knew she was going to mess me up, and she did it anyway. But she's always made me better. And I could not be more grateful.
Come on, man. We got to listen. Take your accolades, dog. Man, listen, bro. We got to stop letting women be the center of attention when it comes to our greatness. Again, regardless of how you feel of Obama or not, we're not going to let women take our shine. Man, this is feminism, in my opinion. This is feminism, in my opinion. This is it. I'm so tired of y'all trying to take our shine. I'm so tired of us having to big y'all up in order to make us better. I'm not going for it no more. I'm tired.
And to Sasha and Malia, what can I say? You mean everything to me.
Which one is Sasha and which one is Malia? Is the chocolate one is Sasha, right?
More than 40 years ago, on a late summer afternoon in 1985, I arrived here in Chicago, entering the city through the very spot where this center now stands. I can still picture myself heading down what was then Cornell Drive in a janky used car that I'd bought in New York, with all my worldly possessions stuffed in the trunk and the back seat, so I really couldn't see out of the rearview mirror, and I was a safety hazard. And I was 23 years old. I'd just been hired by a group of churches on the South Side to help organize a part of the city that had been battered by steel plant closings and chronic neglect. And I didn't have much organizing experience. Didn't know anybody in Chicago.
Why did he go to
Chicago? But I had been inspired by the civil rights movement, and I knew I wanted to make a difference.
That's what I always try to figure out. I always try to figure out, why did Obama pick Chicago to set up shop? And because whenever I'm trying to figure out politicians, or whenever I'm trying to figure out why people did some of the stuff that they did, for me, it's not enough to just say, oh man, yeah, Obama this and Obama that. Oh man, yeah, he was an organizer in Chicago. I want to know why, right? And largely, that gives me insight. And the reason that it gives me insight is because it lets me know that when you are intentional and you fill a void, or you fill a need, or you meet an expectation, or you set a standard in a particular place, they will endear themselves to you. And then ultimately you go on to become the greatest of all time to that community, right? Like think about it. If you're trying to solve for a need, right? Or you trying to become great, let's just say as an entrepreneur, you don't set up shop in New York. You go and fill a need or fill a void in a place where it's not as much motion. Looking at it from a content creator's perspective, I remember when Kevin Samuels was around, and we would have some conversations. And what Kevin's vision was for all of the content creators, especially the men, the guys that had any motion whatsoever, or guys that were successful in business too, was he wanted a lot of us to actually all come together and move to Atlanta. Because Kev was from Oklahoma City, and he wanted people to come to Atlanta and work. But that never made sense to me. That never made sense to me. And the reason that it didn't make sense to me is like a lot of content creators that go over to Los Angeles, or a lot of content creators that go down to Miami. And it's like, even if you become a decent sized fish, you are in a decent sized fish in a certain type of pond. Whereas for me, I was like, well, hate it or love it, if I become the best or the biggest or the biggest in the city that I was born and raised, in Detroit, I'd rather be one of the biggest fish in the smallest ponds, and the smallest, like, I get more motion, I get more recognition, and then you take that recognition into a different place. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, he didn't set up shop in Hawaii. He didn't set up shop in New York. He didn't set up shop in Atlanta. He didn't go in any of those places. He set up shop in Chicago. And strategically, it worked. It worked. It absolutely worked. Strategically, it made sense that he was able to get motion in those places that really didn't have a lot of motion, or a lot of candidates that really was transformational as far as what could possibly be. To become an organizer in Chicago was probably one of the smartest things that he could do.
Sure, exactly how
Somebody said he taught at the university. Yeah, but he could have went anywhere. He literally was going to be, he could have went anywhere and been relatively successful. I don't know if he could have became president without going through Chicago, but he could have went anywhere.
I was going to do that. I was possessed with this abiding faith that if we could give people more of a say in the forces that govern their lives, if we could bridge some of the differences that drove us apart, then we could build an America where everyone counts and everyone has a fair shot and everyone belongs. Even a mixed race kid with a weird backstory and a name nobody could pronounce. And it was here, in this city, a city of broad shoulders, that I found what I was looking for.
Somebody says he felt Chicago was a place where you could see the best and the worst of America, the inequality, the diversity, the potential for change, all in one city. It appealed to his sense of purpose. Bullsh. All cap. Let me tell you something, bro. I believe that these people knew what they was going to be before they was going to be it. If you've never known about the bullpen, I've talked about it. Multiple different political leaders who got motion, they will tell you about it. When you become president, it's not something you just wake up and start to do. Even Trump himself has been talking about becoming president way before the 2016 campaign. This is something that you set yourself up for. When you become president, when you even run to become president, when you are in the running to become president, this is not something that you just, you know what, I wanted to see the inequality of America. Get out of here, bro. This was very intentional in every way, shape, and form. He was absolutely intentional in picking Chicago because that was his pathway to the presidency. And who don't think for one second that you don't think that he was thinking about ultimately becoming president. Now, everything had to line up, I'm assuming, but 100% he was thinking about becoming president. And so I believe it was intentional. Now, the political statement, the thing that you say is one thing, and what you actually intentionally do is a different conversation.
Day by day, block by block, I got to know the people who lived here, their hopes, their dreams.
This ain't a conspiracy. This is intentional. When people become doctors, they don't just become doctors by happenstance. When people wind up becoming a CEO of a company, they don't become a CEO by happenstance. When people become the best sales leader, when they become the best recruit, when they're top, all of this stuff is planned. That's the thing that the Black culture and Black community has to understand. When we make a decision based off of where we are. When they make a decision based off of where they anticipate being, where they going. When they pick their wives, they don't pick a wife based off of whether or not she a baddie, what a fatty, she was a fairy, she was a fairy. They don't pick the women that they surround themselves by they're intentional in what they're looking to do, and they are very mindful of the people that's going to be playing in the same sandbox as them. We act like a life is an accident. People that are successful in general, not just Obama in general, people that are successful, they don't move like life is an accident. They don't stumble into love. They don't stumble into success. They don't stumble into money. They don't stumble into anything. They are very intentional with being careful of how they curate the people that surround them. That's why I keep telling y'all that there's some people we're going to have to leave behind. Look, all right, I do a deal with y'all. All right? We're gonna get to this Obama speech. I'm going to let it play out. I will do a deal with y'all. Because this ain't a conspiracy. This is life. I secretly think that we should leave a lot of us behind because some of us ain't gonna make it, and we just too ignorant, just too stupid, too ignorant, set in our ways. Some people gonna have to be left behind. But I'm gonna be careful not to say that out loud. Even if we're leaving people behind, we're gonna have to be careful not to say that we're leaving them behind because we have to give on a good front. We got to make sure that we acting like we love all of them. Even the ones that are evil. Oh, you know what? Let them make it. Let them make it. Because we know that nobody is on this earth for no reason. And so we have to make sure that we get the good out of everybody. That's a new speech that we're going to do. Rebrand! Anton Daniels from AntonDaniels.com has got a rebrand coming, all right? No more. The Truth Talk is only going to be for Patreon members. I just dropped a post on the Patreon. Make sure y'all go and check that out. Now, we're going to tell the ignorant ones what they want to hear, but we're going to execute on our agenda to make sure that we're successful. We got to skin both cats. We can't go against the narrative and at the same time get the results because it's going to be too resistant. So we got to make sure that we sell them on the idea that we actually, listen, you even though you never went to high school and you're illiterate and you can't read, we're doing it for the guy over there who wants to buy a home for his children. It's 10 kids, my 9 baby mamas. You can make it. It's the American dream for you. So that's what we're going to do from now on. We're going to act like we care about the people that are doing the worst things to the community. And that way we don't get no pushback. But at the same time, we got to execute on our plan. All right? Okay? All right, y'all. Deal. Rebrand.
Their tragedies and their triumphs. I witnessed their resilience in the face of hardship and the quiet heroism of a single mom raising her kids and sending them to college on a secretary's salary, or the priest electing to stay in the city and open his doors to at-risk youth over at the Ramada Inn on Lakeshore Drive, serving pretzels and soda, embarking on the path that ultimately and improbably led to this day. So, for me, this center could not be anyplace else. It's an expression of thanks, an acknowledgement that so much of what I hold most dear, I owe to the people of this city and the people of these surrounding neighborhoods.
Now, you don't believe that, do you? You don't believe for 1 second that Barack Obama owes something to the city of Chicago, but this is the sales pitch. This is how we get him on our side. I'm learning. You know what? Even at 44 years old, you can teach an old dog new tricks. I'm learning, O. Shout out to O. Thank you for the marketing lesson. I owe my life and my success to the city of Detroit. Without those hard lessons, going to the junkyard and fixing up my own car, in the auto industry that taught me that with hard work, you too can be a beacon of hope for the people that are looking to just have an education. You can also get a trade and get a job out of high school, and you don't have to go to college necessarily, but as long as you're doing the right thing, you can make it. I like it. It's got a ring to it. It's got a ring to it a little bit. All right, we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
And it's why we designed the center not to be some lifeless mausoleum. I am too young for that. Not just a place to see Michelle's dresses, although I understand that will be the top attraction. We wanted it to be a vibrant, living celebration of
Dallas,
community.
you're right, Johnny Mac from Dallas.
Where we can learn together and share the joys of art and music and sport and play. Because it's in those moments that we're reminded of our common humanity. And strengthen the bonds of trust that not only make our lives richer, but make our democracy stronger. By FDR's Labor Secretary, Francis Perkins. And it's why the exhibits here focus not just on policies, but on the shared values that make democracy possible. A belief in the intrinsic dignity and worth of all people, and that no one is above the law or beneath its protection.
Except for Hunter Biden, Anthony Fauci, several of the people that gave us a pandemic, nobody is above the law or beneath it. Except for everybody that got pardoned by AutoPen. Did y'all know that Hunter Biden is actually the only person that actually got an actual presidential sign at the last minute? All the rest of them was AutoPen. That nobody is above it and nobody is below it. This ain't nothing but a hope speech.
I believe
if y'all believe that, then listen, go and get you a court-appointed lawyer and think that justice is going to be served if you ever get a case. I'm going to go get this other lawyer over there. I'm going to go get Sean Kent. You get him, I'm going to get Sean, and we're going to see how that work out for you. And nobody is above it, nobody is below it. Everybody is subject to the law here in the good old U.S. of A. Okay, I got you. No. Do your thing. I'm going to do my thing.
Checks and balances in our government and an accountability that comes with it, an independent judiciary and a robust free press. A belief that our military and law enforcement owe allegiance not to any president or political party, but to the people and our Constitution. A belief in the peaceful transfer of power after the people have spoken in fair and free elections, recognizing...
Right, this is not an indictment on Obama's actions in particular. This is speaking towards what he's trying to sell to the American people, which is not an accurate depiction of what life has ever been since I've been born. Matter of fact, this ain't an accurate depiction on what life has ever been inside of the U.S. in the last 250 years. And the years before that. You know why? Because there are some people that's above the law. And life ain't fair. And you're not always going to make it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it 100 with you. Like, come on, man. What are we doing? He pardoned his son before he was ever even charged. That's insane. Your former vice president who then became president. And don't forget that they don't want us to be able to show ID at the voter polls. Okay? I want to make sure you know that. Because we need everybody to be able to vote in this upcoming election, especially if you were going to vote Democrat. What do you mean? Why don't they want you to be able to show ID and validate that you're an American citizen before you vote? I can name 1,000 different things that we can go into.
In a large, complicated society like ours, no group or faction gets its way 100% of the time. And a belief that qualities of character, honesty, integrity, kindness, compassion, a sense of duty and honor.
Remember when what did he bomb? Libya?
Those things matter in our public dealings.
What's
just as
up,
they
girlfriend?
do in our private lives. These are not... These are the values and traditions I believe in. And they are not Republican or Democratic values. They're American values we can all share, regardless of party.
And let's not forget the American value of killing babies through abortion as we try to uphold Roe v. Wade that they fought for. Let's listen. Life is fair. We need a fair system. So let's fight against demolishing birthright citizenship that was allocated for slaves or American descendants of slaves and was not meant for people that were coming over here from China and all of these other countries that were trying to have kids so that they can have dual citizenship in both their country and where they're from. Let's not forget all of the people that we allowed to come over here illegally. No, listen, none of that matters. None of that matters.
Values every president here today, as different as we are, has tried our best to uphold. Values that John McCain and Mitt Romney believed in no less than I did.
Look at Biden. Look at Biden.
It is our greatest inheritance. The story of America at its best, because...
Look at Biden. What is Biden doing? Everybody focus except for Biden.
To uphold. Values that John McCain...
Look at Biden. Hold on. You know why you can't see him? Because he's right there. He's trying to remember where his shoelaces are. He's trying to figure out where he's at. Biden is over here looking for dog doo-doo and scraping gum off the bottom of his shoe. And everybody else focus on the speech.
Has tried our best to uphold. Values that John McCain and Mitt Romney believed in no less than I did. It is our greatest inheritance, the story of America at its best, because it reflects a basic faith in the decency of our fellow citizens and the possibility that, despite all of our differences, we can see each other and understand one another and make common cause together. That's what I hope every visitor to this center takes away from their experience. And that's why if you come for a day and you don't have time to see everything, I would urge you to skip the clips of my speeches. You have heard them all before.
I do plan on going to visit the Obama Presidential Library because I think that it is. I have to go and see it for myself. I have to go and see what's happening for myself so that I can make an informed decision on whether it's good or bad. From the outside on the TV, it looks crazy. Okay. From this lens, I'm saying that I have to go and see it for myself. And that's a part of me being objective. That's a part of me being objective, is that I got to go and see it for myself. I heard that it's sold out through November. Let me see. Obama Library tickets. Let's see. Obama tickets, let's see. Obama tickets, let's see. Let me close this out. Museum tickets sold out. Museum admission is currently sold out. Founding members enjoy early access to the next block of tickets starting on July 1st. What? I don't get it. So we got to wait until the mailing list drops additional tickets before you can buy any. All right. Well, I guess that's the play. Said bring your ID because you're going to need it to get in. That's pretty funny. Let me read some of these super chats. I gotta get ready for my my little mini debate that I gotta do against somebody on Stephen A. Smith's platform. We doing a pre-record today with Stephen A. Smith. Hey, GTA 6 drop or GTA 6 pre-order drop. Let me see something real quick before I read these. Grand Theft Auto pre-orders begin June 25th. Did y'all hear about that? According to Rockstar Games, wish list now on the PlayStation Store and the Microsoft Store. I can't do it, bro. I can't do it. As tempted as I may be to go back into Grand Theft Auto, I cannot do it. I am not about to let that mess up my money, that mess up my time, because that junk can become so addictive. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, nope. Can't do it. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says, do you think Usher can beat Kells in a versus? No. Absolutely not. The only person that could beat Kells in a versus is dead, and that's Michael Jackson. Nobody can beat R. Kelly in a versus. Manny Plays PC says, Bill looks like he just came from a dentist appointment. Stream what? What do you want me to stream? What do you think I should stream? TS Car Wash and Detail Service says, you saw Jay Hair documentary? No, I have not seen it. Who gonna fold? Nah, man, I'm not buying that, bro. AR's back says, Michael Moore used to have me thinking Bush was slow. He did. He did. Oh, man, that is true. And Michael Moore is a super liberal himself. Weirdo liberal. Just Call Me Solo says, shout out to Obama for supporting the alphabet community rights, but not advocating for reparations for black communities. Got to acknowledge that. Man, y'all not getting no rep. I don't know when I got to keep telling y'all that. The U.S. is already $40 trillion in debt. You think that they're going to give you some reparations? TS says, love to hear them speak. Shout out to TS Car Wash and Detail Service. I'm calling you Ra. The Obama Seminar Library is awesome. It's like no other presidential library. Before it, we'll tour it when you get here. Bet. Taking you up on that offer. Bad Habit says, so you saying we got to leave Lil Glocktavius? Cold game, AD. My girlfriend Crimson says, greetings and good day, Lord Anton. Love the Pink. Oh, man. Pink love you too. Pink love you too. Obama better take care of that outstanding balance that he allegedly owes for that center. Giving big speeches, but so much. My dog, Mr. Lot, says funding for the James P. Fields Garden at the Obama Center. Yeah. It's been a good Monday. We about 4 hours in. 4 hours in. I have to prepare myself. All right. I got to prepare myself. So, as I study my opponent and study the landscape by which we will have a conversation, I think I'm going to be talking about Karmelo Anthony too. So that should be fun. Yeah, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. They got the fireworks here in Detroit. Missed a lot. You watching the fireworks in Detroit? All right. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, let me get ready for this debate. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.